Hello, Manny. Hello, hello.
What's up, bro?
I'm doing good. What's up with you? Uh, it's been a fucking month, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
How's it going? What's up? What's happening?
Well, I beat Elden Ring.
Hey, okay, cool. What do
Um,
you think?
the game's incredible.
Nice. Nice.
I just gotta say, it's one of the best games I've ever played.
Cool. What would you consider your favorite game before that? I think you said like Red Dead, right?
Red Dead, GTA 4, the God of War series,
Mm-hmm.
like Black Ops 2, and Battlefield 4.
Gotcha. How does it rank amongst them? Number one.
Number one for like, it's weird because like, number one has to be like Black Ops 2
Yeah.
because it's the multiplayer, the campaign, the zombies,
Yeah.
the nostalgia is like, and that was like the peak of gaming for me.
That was the peak of gaming for everybody. Nothing ever gets back to that. That's why people keep buying these Call of Duties. Like, I just want to feel it again, man.
Yeah. No.
I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I was there.
I'm so happy I was there, bro.
Yeah.
But like, mostly Battlefield 4. So I gotta say Rainbow Six Siege too. But I think Battlefield 4 is the best FPS shooter of all time. In my opinion.
Wow. What makes
Yeah.
you say that? Because I always considered Battlefield to be like the party shooter where you run around and you have fun, while Call of Duty is the one where you actually like play. That's at least how I felt. No,
Really?
because Battlefield, at least I think it was on Battlefield 4 was on 360, right? That's when it came out, or 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
I remember it being, I remember at least my experience of it. Because it's Battlefield, it's like slower. Like the game runs like slower than COD, and because it's like an all-out warfare, it's harder because everybody is just like the entire thing is like that's just
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
And it's so fun, but it's I want to see someone who's good at Battlefield play Battlefield and be like, this is how you play. Because
But there's the thing, right? There's so many ways to play.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the motherfucker that sits in a jet the entire game.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
can be the dude on a helicopter the entire game.
Yeah.
You can be infantry. You can be the sniper.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also like be the tank motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can be like, and there's a bunch of vehicles. You can be the boat motherfucker. You
Yeah.
can literally just, that be a whole play style. You never like pick up a gun, and it's insane because like it's not even like you do that as like a niche thing. It's like helicopter people, bro. They be going like 250 and zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and one helicopter, you can't even take them down. Like, but it's so hard, you know. It's great. If you look up like Battlefield jet or helicopter gameplay,
Yeah.
it's like real life. It's like real life. It's, like,
Yeah.
it's so good, bro. For real. But Battlefield 4, it's so rewarding because the game's actually like hard, and like the guns have recoil
Yeah.
and shit like that. With COD, no, every gun like has like perfect recoil. But that game is like,
Yeah.
it's that the sniping is super hard because like it's headshots only,
Yeah.
and like it's bullet dropping shit. And,
Dude.
so that
When I get sniped in Battlefield, I'm like, it's hard for me to get mad because I'm just like,
you
how?
can't get mad. It's like they really just hit you in the head.
Yeah.
Like, why are you running? Battlefield, your character runs so fast.
Yeah.
But like to get hit in the head is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super. It's like the most. The other thing, like Rainbow Six Siege.
Do you consider
That's
it
like
to be
the-
balanced? Like, is there like an easy way to kill a jet or an easy way to like destroy a tank, or like, because I don't know, like Battlefront 2 is made by the same people who make the Battlefield games, like the Star Wars Battlefront, and there's just like Battlefield, there's a lot of ways that you can play that game. You can be in vehicles, you can play as like this guy, that guy, and in Battlefront, the meta, like the strongest thing to do is to be on the ground like a normal person, have like a certain class that has a long range weapon and shoot people in the sky, because none of the ships are like fast enough to like avoid your bullets, and you can kill people just by shooting at them, and you get like the most points by doing that. And I mean, what you're saying about Battlefield is opening my eyes to it having more potential than I thought. But I wonder, is there a meta to Battlefield? Have you experienced that, or have you just gone about it your own way?
I think the game is very balanced, and because even with the vehicles, like there's not like you can have like 10 like planes in the sky, isn't that right?
Yeah.
There's only like 2 jets and like 1 helicopter. Mm-hmm. That's it. Well, I think the game's very balanced, especially when it comes to the weapon balancing. There's so many weapons in that game.
Yeah.
Like, there's like so many guns per class.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can never get really tired because you can always get a new gun. Plus the DLC guns, it's crazy. There's so many weapons in that game, and it's like none of the weapons are like too OP.
Yeah.
But there's this one gun called the AEK, which is like the meta gun. But it's like it's not meta because it's easy to use. It's like a hard gun to use, but it's like really good, you know. So I think the game is really balanced. It's like one of the most balanced, like gun wise games I play.
That's interesting.
And plus, like, you know, the battlefield moments, you know, the buildings falling.
Yeah.
It's 64 players, you know. It's like those experiences I had in Battlefield 4, no game can ever do that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane. I took for granted that game. Like, I remember when it came out and I was like, you can be in the building and jump out of it while it's falling. Like, no game has ever done that. Like, even today, there are games that are like, yo, we're going to do that. And then it comes out and it's like, you didn't do it. And it's like, yeah, bro, it was really hard.
it's just insane
like,
how that game is so incredible. Like,
yeah.
Even like the new Battlefields don't even do that shit. Like every base map, excluding the DLCs, had like Levolution, where like the map would drastically change. Like the map would, like one map would flood, something, a building will fall, or this will fall, and then the whole map changes, right?
Yeah.
And the new Battlefields, you think like 10 years later there'll be crazier things.
Yeah.
And there's none of it, you know. It's
wow. What about that giant tornado? That didn't do anything. No? Oh no, that's so sad.
Meanwhile, that's cool. But
yeah. Like
being in the elevator while that building is falling is some of the funniest like
yo.
Like the building's falling, you're just going up the building while it's like
you
just know you're gonna die. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But, I had this clip on my YouTube. It was me and my boy playing, and someone put a C, like he's camping on top of the building sniping, and he puts a C4 in the elevator, and it goes down. Then we go in the elevator, we try to go up, and then he sees us coming up, and he just blow up the C4. I'm just like laughing like crazy.
That's
no other game can really do that. You know, there's so many like Battlefield modes that are so unique. No.
Yeah.
And you add like planes, tanks, and all that shit into it.
Mm-hmm.
The most fun. Really.
Yeah, and then they made Battlefield Hardline, which is the polar opposite of what people want from Battlefield. Did you?
Don't get me wrong. The Hardline beta was so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, because it still had that, but it was just on a smaller scale. It was like GTA but Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like the beta was crazy. I don't know why. It's like what's that game Ubisoft made?
Ubisoft?
It's a Tom Clancy game.
Division?
The Division.
Yeah.
The Division 1 beta. My group, we played the fuck out of it.
Dude, I played the fuck out of that beta too, bro.
It was so crazy.
You could do like a handful of normal missions, but you could also do the competitive. I don't remember what they called it, but like it was like, bro, you're gonna enter the zone and it's like free for all. Like that shit was so. No multiplayer is like that. I've never seen a multiplayer like that since that. It didn't last though, which is really sad.
But I think because I was a kid and I had no money, but I didn't get the full game, but I have fond memories of playing the beta. You know how you kill an online player, like you kill an online player, and then like man, you like mark, and like the whole server can come after you.
Yeah.
You might blow to find this place where you can just camp the shit out of this ladder. There'll be 4 of us, and if anyone comes up the ladders,
dude, that's so cool. Oh man,
it was so much fun.
Man, betas are good because, like you said, you don't have money, and it feels like you're getting the first like genuine fresh version of the game. So you're not worried that you're going to go in and you're going to experience any bullshit because everyone's playing for the first time. So if you find out something, it's like, "Oh my god, I'm going to mop everybody in like the next week." Like, and that applies to like every game, like a fighting game, you know? Online games. Yeah. The Battlefront beta, like for the first one, I remember being like,
I played that shit too.
I wasn't even like a crazy Star Wars guy at that time, and I'm like, dude, oh my god! I would see like Vader in the distance, like coming at me, like dun, dun, dun. I'm like, Battlefront was a game where like when I died by Vader, I'm like, guys, he killed me, and people would be like, no way, really? Like you died like from Vader? Like that's a big deal, because no one was gonna get to play him. You barely saw him, so when you died from him, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, he killed me. They do like a custom force choke animation.
No, that was such a unique experience. Dude, I remember the snow map in the beta.
Yeah, that was the only map.
The game looked incredible.
Yeah, it did.
Looked so good. I never watched any Star Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I became Luke Skywalker. I was like slicing people up. I was like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
It's insane. That's insane.
It was.
But I remember this like Darth Vader like using the force, lifting me up, and I just died. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even mad. It's like, dude, that was so sick.
I know. And I loved the shooting. I loved like the way they reloaded. Like it was like Gears of War where like you have to get the thing like on the timer, on the like little yellow mark. This Battlefront, it's too bad that EA was being fuckery because that game was fun.
Yeah.
The second one, you know all the controversy with that one where like the loot boxes and everyone got mad. They like damage control like after that game came out. Like they tried to like win people back. So they did full like free DLC. Like no one had to pay for it. And they removed like all the microtransactions. The game is actually like amazing now. Like fucking awesome. But it's kind of too late because you ruined it for everybody.
What I see from Battlefront 2 was like people would just like be the Luke or Yoda or Darth Vader and just 1v1 each other and shit. That shit looks cool. It's just that. It's none of like the other game modes, you know?
Yeah. Everybody has their favorites when it comes to Battlefront 2. Yeah, it's interesting.
That first one, man.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Those were
I thought that was gonna be like the next like Call of Duty. Yeah.
Bro, I thought it was gonna be the next Battlefield, but alas, they fucked up. Some of the funniest YouTube videos have come out of that fuck up. It's so interesting. People being like, "What the fuck? This game is fucking ass." Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I've been watching beat Elden Ring. I'm about to beat it again in New Game Plus. And you know, I've been watching the seasonal. Love is War is about to end next week, and it's about to be like a crazy ending.
Is it really the excited. ending?
I believe so.
No way. That's crazy.
The ending. Like the war is about to end.
Wow. That's so cool.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible season. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. One of the best seasons. Probably the best season.
It's just Kaguya-sama and Spy Family though, right? Are you watching anything else?
I'm watching a bunch of other trash stuff. No,
yeah.
This is one called Summertime Rendering. Have you heard of that?
I feel like I have. Does it have like a girl in a swimsuit on the cover? like
Yeah.
a onesie. How was that?
I haven't watched it, but
Hmm,
people saying it's like one of the best this season.
interesting. Well, for the next episode, I'm going to try to watch Spy Family so we can talk about it. I would like to do that. So that'll be one of the things we talk about on the next one. I thought that was another person that looked exactly like you. I got so, oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, in the mirror. I was like, oh, Black Swan.
Oh my god.
I was like, Manny, watch out. Virtual Manny.
He starts fucking me up.
Boom,
And
boom,
he
boom,
continues
boom,
to
boom.
call. He
Yeah.
continues to call like he's doing. Like, yeah, I was just Spy Family.
and then we get into an argument and then you're like Akami got killed his ass and your neck like grows just like but
Probably like, I miss the old Manny, the real Manny. He starts freaking out. I'm the real Manny.
Oh man, it's been so long.
Wait, how was Anime Boston?
It was amazing. I had. Did you drop something?
No, I just remembered, bro.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I saw a poster for Trigun in 2023.
Yes, Manny. I have a list of all the news that we need to talk about. There's more than that.
Perfect.
Do you know about anything else?
No.
No?
Go ahead.
Oh my god. I don't know. Do you want to get into that now or do you want to cuz there's
Yeah.
You want to get into the anime news? Okay. Let's see.
Actually,
Cuz
nah, save it.
save it for the end.
Yeah.
Manny, you don't know anything? You don't know
No.
anything.
I only know about Trigun.
Dude, I'm so excited. This is gonna be like one of the longest calls. We have so much to talk about. I'm surprised that Elden Ring is the only thing you have to say because obviously there's a bunch of stuff that that I watched. So
I mean, Peaky Blinders season 6 came out, and I'm like halfway done with that.
oh, okay, it's like a Netflix show now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about Netflix like losing a tiny bit of money and being like, cancel everything? Did you hear about that? Oh, their stock went down for the first time, like in like a couple of years, and they were like, okay, we're gonna cancel a lot of shows, and we're like not gonna make big budget things anymore. It was really like upsetting to hear. It's like,
Yeah.
you're never gonna get an Irishman ever again. You're never gonna get, so and so. And I'm like, dude, come on. Because I always thought Netflix was goated because it made everybody happy. If you were like a teenage girl, you got your shitty like shows. If you were like an artsy movie guy, you got your Irishmans, you got your that stuff. If you were an anime guy, you got your anime. And I just don't really know what's happening with Netflix right now.
I won't be happy until I get all of JoJo Part 6.
Yeah, me neither. And it's taking so long. Oh my god, it's taking way too long, Manny. But
I can't wait to watch that shit.
speaking of Netflix, have you seen Stranger Things ever? Okay. Well, Stranger Things season 4 just dropped, and that's the talk of the town.
Have you watched it?
I've seen the first 3 seasons, and I just watched the first episode of season 4. And I watched the first 3 seasons a long time ago in high school. Watching the first episode of season 4, I don't know if I was a normie back then and I thought it was good because I was a normie. But watching season 4, I was like, was the show always this like mid? I was very upset. I was really disappointed to like watch that new episode. I'm like, dude. And each episode is an hour and a half long, Manny. So it's just like you're sitting there watching mid for an hour and a half every single time. I don't know why they did that, but I guess they felt like it was necessary. It didn't feel necessary. And everybody's older now too. So like it's like weird because the main kid, one of the things, like the whole gimmick of Stranger Things is like these nerdy kids are like fighting monsters, right? And in season
like hand-to-hand combat monsters.
No.
I know nothing about the show.
Sometimes it gets to that point where like it's like eerie and mysterious in the beginning, and then as like it goes on, it's like, oh my god, we're face to face with like the fucking like Cthulhu, like level 100 badass monster, and we're just a kid with like a slingshot. We're gonna die. So it's the first 3 seasons I thought were really good, and this new season, I think the kids, as they get older, the acting, I don't know if the acting gets worse, but that was one of the strongest things about Stranger Things, is that the kids were great actors. But now that they're older and they're still trying to act like they were when they were kids, it's weird. I'm not fucking with it too heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Never watched things. I always heard about it, but never interested.
I definitely recommend at least the first season. Stranger Things is a show that like, it's very clear that it kept going because it made money, and they were like, hey, you guys want to keep going? And they were like, all right, fine. And it's the newer stuff is okay. It's not like bad, but the first season is, I remember it being god tier. I'm skeptical to say that now because I just watched this new episode and it was like mid, but I remember season. I think it's one of, I don't watch normal TV often, but it's one of like the best normal shows that I've seen in recent memory. So I love it. I don't know. Have you seen like Stephen King films like It and Shining and stuff? It's not based on a Stephen King book, but it takes a lot of inspiration from it aesthetically, and it's really well written and it has great characters. So I'll finish it out of obligation, but maybe I won't because it's been like 3 weeks and I'm only just now starting it because there's too much shit out. There's a Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and that shit is like comically dog shit. Like really bad. It's upsetting because Obi-Wan Kenobi is like the best character. Like, how do you fuck him up? It's so easy. Just throw Vader in there, make him fight Vader back and forth. Bam, bam, bam. You got yourself a whole show. But they fucked it up. Manny.
I don't know. This is such a disconnect.
Yeah.
With these writers and like the true fans.
Do you know like The Flash and like Arrow and those like kind of shows like on Yeah, well those shows, there's a difference between like Netflix shows and like stuff on streaming services, and then there's the CW like Flash and Arrow, and those shows are like extremely low budget, and like there are people out there that can watch something like The Flash. I don't know if you've ever seen clips on Twitter of people being like, dude, look at the CGI in Flash, look how fucking awful it is. And a lot of people still watch it because a lot of people don't care. A lot of people are like, no shade to my favorite homie in the world, but my mom is like that. My mom will just like watch anything regardless of like its quality, and there's a lot of people like my mom that just they don't care about that.
Yeah, everywhere. I saw this scene from a Flash where it was like Flash was chasing a car and couldn't catch the car.
Oh my god. I need you to send me that. If you ever find it, send me that.
I was like, what the fuck?
The fuck?
Like, and it's crazy how like the Flash thing is like how many like casuals like watch that show.
I know. And how many
like casuals, they don't know nothing about Flash, but like a bunch of them watch this show.
Yeah.
Like, so
and this
so that's like the only depiction of Flash.
Yeah, dude, I think about that all the time. Like they do Flashpoint in the show, but obviously they don't have the other characters, so like it's whatever. And when I was watching Flash, I watched like 2 seasons of it, and then when they were like, this is gonna be the Flashpoint season, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm checking out. I don't want to watch that. But a lot of people did. A lot of people get educated on the DC characters and like mythos through those shows, and it's really interesting because that's like the worst way to do it because they're so independent. Like they kind of do their own thing, but they're also worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just happy they haven't made like a Batman show, like a Bruce Wayne show.
Oh yeah. Well, that was Gotham,
Yeah, but I know they did like Batwoman.
Yeah.
And Gotham and shit, but
Batwoman was hilarious. It was a white girl with red hair, and the white girl's like, I don't want to do this. Like, she literally just said, like, I don't want to do this show. And she just stopped doing the show. So they had to replace the character. They were like, we can't cancel the show. So they had to replace the character. In any other show, they would be like, yeah, we're just not going to make it anymore. But because it's the CW and it's like shit to your television, it's like, all right, bro, it's going to keep going regardless. So they got a black girl, and now the black girl is Batwoman. And then that shit got canceled. It's so funny. Those shows are so bad, but so many people watch them. It's very interesting.
it's scary.
It is scary. I don't know if I want to talk about this, but are you aware of... I have to try not to laugh. Nah, it's okay. I'm going to laugh. Are you aware of... Are you aware of the Batman villain shit that's going on with Ezra Miller?
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. If you don't know, maybe we shouldn't talk about it, because it's actually like, it's kind of not funny. It's like really bad.
Wait, like you talking about how he groomed the girl, a little girl? Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. No, but he's like, I'm talking about the other thing in tandem with that.
What other thing?
Manny, this nigga is officially, like, legally considered missing, and the girl is missing as well. And
are you serious?
I'm very serious. That's like right now, that's the current status. They are gone. And it's hard not to laugh, because it's just like, what the fuck? But it's like, it's really bad. I'm very scared. This is literally like Memories of Murder type shit.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm so scared.
Bro, it's such a Ezra Miller. First thing that comes up is missing. And it says top stories.
Ezra Miller makes fun of cops on Instagram and then deletes it.
It says another protection order has been filed against Ezra Miller, but the Flash actor still hasn't been located. Ezra Miller taunts police as he remains missing.
Yeah. It's so scary.
Damn. See, I didn't know.
You didn't know this?
I didn't know the girl was missing as well.
Yeah.
This is insane.
It is insane.
DC can't catch a break. I saw a bunch of tweets where it was like, Ezra Miller has to like somehow get retconned with the time travel thing. That's the only way.
Did you see that? You saw the thing I sent you with like the if Ezra, they're gonna make up an excuse where Ezra Miller runs really fast and his face changes randomly. Like, I sent you that one. I love the Miyazaki.
The comments in that under that were
hilarious. Yeah, dude, the memes on Twitter are really good. In response to this, fucking, but.
Dude, is insane, bro.
This is the craziest thing I think I've ever witnessed, like, in the world. I'm being serious. Like, we are living in an Attack on Titan like level world right now, Manny. The Ukraine, the Texas thing, it's bad.
This dude just can't like be rich and happy, bro.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, and just like chill out at the crib.
Yeah, man. Why not?
He's a shitty Flash too.
Yeah, he is. I can't believe they're gonna make a whole movie on him. I was literally like, really? This guy? I'm like, come on.
But they need to make the Flash out. Like, they gotta base him off like the animated series, bro.
Yeah.
He's so good in the show. He's so funny.
He's so good. I
don't like Peter Parker Flash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
quirky, nerdy loser. Fuck. I want some funny dude.
I know, some funny dude in his early 30s that
fucking hitting on Wonder Woman and shit.
Hitting on Wonder Woman. He's the Flash. He's like one of the smartest characters in that universe, and he gets pussy. He's so cool. Yeah. Well, in tandem with that, Johnny won. The Pirates man won the Amber Heard thing.
But Amber Heard didn't really lose either.
Yeah. Well, she lost in like where it really matters, like her public perception, you know?
Yeah, but they gave her like $2 million.
You realize how much she gave him, right?
Not much. I mean, I bet I know she had money.
Yeah, she did have money.
How much she give him?
Like over like 10 million, I think. Please look it up because I don't know.
Yeah, Heard was ordered to pay 10 mil.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
a total of 15 mil. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. Huh.
What's up?
Yeah, she might be fucked.
Yeah.
She might be fucked. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at her net worth, and I know that doesn't mean how much money she has, but
right.
Yeah, she might. Because even like, say she's like still has money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But her image is destroyed. She can still live an incredible life.
Yeah.
So it's like, so let's say like she has like the 2 million she got is like how much she has right now. She can live the rest of her life chilling.
Yeah. Bro, I always think about it that way. Like they be spending money in like a way worse way than we do. So 2 million to them is like not a lot. And they're like, bro, I only have 2 million. It's so interesting.
Yeah. Because you just have to. I'll just get a normal house.
Bro, I always think that if I was a millionaire, I would get a normal house because I don't have high standards. Like I don't care to live in a mansion.
I'll just have like a sick room.
Yeah. People walk
I
in your
live
room.
somewhere safe with a sick room.
Yeah.
I'll be chilling.
The rest of the house look default as fuck.
Default.
Gray paint, and then you go in your room.
I paid the neighbor's kids to mow my lawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just have a sick like gaming setup. Nice bed.
Nice bed. Well, hopefully they're both I don't really know. I'm not mad at either of them. Hopefully they're both fine. I don't know who's wrong or anything, but yeah. That was that. I feel like there was something else like internet related. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Give me a second. Let me try to remember.
Yeah, something had to.
There were a lot of things.
I know like crypto crashed like crazy. I lost over like $7,000 in the last like a month.
Really? Oh no. I'm so sorry, Manny.
Nah, I don't. I'm chilling.
Okay.
Cause I know it's gonna go back up.
So do you like NFTs and stuff, or
no? I just do crypto, and it's crazy. Like I can buy a entire like Bitcoin, like one Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
It drops so low that I can like buy one right now. It's cool to say, but I can buy it but not afford it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's crazy how low it dropped because like probably like 6 months ago it was at like 66K. Now it's like 18K. So,
whoa.
But yeah, a lot of people are trying to time the market so it can like so they buy as low as possible because it's gonna go back up. So.
It always does.
Yeah, it always does.
Have you always been into like the crypto stuff?
I started the Dogecoin thing got me started, but I have Dogecoin, but Dogecoin is dead. You know, Elon Musk, I think today he tweeted, "I will forever support Dogecoin," and people can comment, "Dogecoin sucks."
Yeah, cryptocurrency is very interesting because no one actually uses it. Everybody just invests in it and then invests out of it to get a bag, and It's this weird flow of income towards this thing that doesn't really matter.
I don't know what
The logic is.
I don't know what this shit means, bro.
Dude, me neither.
And I know it sounds kind of goofy, like saying like I invested into it without knowing what it is, but
you just wanted money, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
I did like I made like good money off it.
Mm-hmm.
And it tanked now, but still.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to time the market too, because I'm trying to buy this shit as low as possible, you know.
Do you ever get stressed out at like how much at like whether it's gonna go up or down? Like I really.
Nah, because the money I put in is like money I had on the side, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what they say, like put as much you can put without it, like fucking up your your livelihood and shit. So that's exactly what I did. So saying like when I lost the 7K, I wasn't like tripping or nothing.
Yeah.
Because I started off with like probably like 4K and went up to like 10, then went down. So I didn't really like lose it.
Right.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you don't lose until like you sell.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure.
I see.
But I feel like I'm missing something too.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff. I have like a bunch of stuff like written down, but I just want to think about like the news thing because I feel like something else major. Maybe I'm thinking about Texas and Uvalde.
That shit is insane, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. I don't understand. Like, it's not even that. Also the what's it called? The Buffalo shooting as well.
What was that? Is that a recent thing? I don't know what that is.
You don't know that? It's like it happened before the Uvalde one, and the dude live streamed it, and like I saw the video.
The shooter?
Like, yeah, and he's just like.
Was it an elementary school?
No, it's like a grocery store.
Okay.
And I wish I never saw the video. I wish I never like had the video in my head. He just hops out the car and just starts like blasting people. It's insane.
Wow.
I'm not gonna explain that shit because that shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
But he like while he's like running through the store, like he runs across this white guy on the floor because his mission was to kill black people only, right? Because he had like a 10-page.
Oh, is that guy? How long ago was this? Because I think I know what you're talking. Because I remember there was a guy who like killed a bunch of black people, but I thought that was like in a church. It was a month ago.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't know about this.
Yeah, happened in Buffalo.
He wrote a whole manifesto.
He wrote a manifesto and he was like, yeah, he wrote a whole thing, but he was trying to kill black people. And throughout the video, like he runs across a white guy and points the gun at him, and he's like, "Oh, sorry," and he like keeps running. But the video is terrible.
Have you ever seen anything that bad before?
I've seen shit that bad.
Mm.
I've seen like fucked up shit, but I don't like seeing shit like that. I don't feel like we're meant to see shit like that. It's different from like a Mortal Kombat thing, you know.
It is a lot different. When you see it for real, it's hard to get it out of your head.
Because the dude like he just starts like blasting people. It's like, and it's like, it's the first time I seen like, because like the gore videos, that's one thing, but like seeing like mass shootings from the dude's perspective is just like it just puts into perspective like how the Uvalde dude just like shot these kids, you know, and he killed like 18 kids, and the Buffalo dude killed like 10 people, and like just seeing his like how it went through his eyes or his perspective is insane. Because now when I look back at any other mass shooting, I think about it how I saw that video, and it's just like it just puts it into perspective for me. You know, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's the whole gun thing. I can't wrap my head around it because you know they say you can buy like guns at 18 and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can buy like rifles and shit at 18, but you can't buy a pistol. And they say because like, well, pistol is more dangerous because you can conceal it, right? But at the same time, like with the Buffalo's guy, like he parks in front of the store, hops out, and immediately starts shooting. So all that concealed carry doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He just concealed his way up to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
So like the whole concealed, like, it doesn't matter. Like it'll be the same thing. Like he can walk up with a pistol concealed, or he can just drive up. But the thing is, the rifle has a bigger mag and bigger bullets. So like the destruction is just way more. It's just worse than what a pistol can do. You know, it's insane.
I
don't understand.
I think it is asking a lot of human beings as a species to give them the freedom to own like things that can kill people in droves and just be like, you are smart enough not to do this. I think you're asking a lot out of a human being to be like, here you go, and just like expect them not to do anything.
Yeah. And
everyone has their Joker days, you know.
And it's like these people, like the people who are for guns and shit, they're like, well, guns don't kill people, people kill people, right? And it's like, bro, like, then why are all these shootings always with these fucking ARs? They're not pistols. Mm-hmm. They're always ARs. Mm-hmm. It's like you would think like maybe you should be 21, because like the Buffalo dude was 18, and the Uvalde dude was also like 18.
Really?
You know, and they just have rifles.
Yeah, that's a really good argument.
And it's like, I don't know.
I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment.
And another shooting with the other one, I think it was in Texas, where the dude shot up like a hospital. Man. He went to go kill his professor. I think it was at like a medical school, actually. He went to go kill his professor, and he killed like 4 people. The dude bought that gun like that morning, went and just like shooting people and shit. So it's like, I don't know. I don't see why you can just buy a gun and just like with no like questions asked, no like checks, nothing. Get some ammo and just go out and do whatever.
Yeah, I think if you can't drink, the argument is like, if I can't drink at 21, I shouldn't be able to buy a gun at 18, and I like that argument. I agree. I think I don't think that's really a solution though. I think that would have prevented these things, but I don't think that's a permanent solution.
But don't get me wrong with the 18 thing. It's like it should be 21, but they should be like the whole background check too. Because like, if right when you hit 18, you can just walk into a store and buy an AK and leave like it's GTA. There's no checks, background, nothing, none of that.
There's none at all.
No, none at all.
That's interesting.
You can go in and leave like it's GTA 5 and just start like going crazy. But with the pistol, they do it for the pistol though, because the concealed carry, which doesn't matter.
That's really interesting, because it's like popular for people to have a gun on them, like in case for protection. Like it's like a thing. That's very interesting. What's the logic in you have the right to own an assault rifle? What are you going to use it for? Fun? Shoot the trees? I know some people do.
Don't get me wrong. That's fun. I'm not gonna lie. Shooting that shit is fun.
I do agree with the sentiment that I don't want to take that away from people, because the argument for taking away guns from people, the argument they're saying is like, we are mentally sound to not do anything like that. Just because this guy ruins it for us. Like, should we lose our thing? Because you can make the same argument for art. You can make the same argument for Taxi Driver. Do you know about the guy that like tried to assassinate the president after and he was like, I was inspired by Taxi Driver. Da, 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 da. Have you heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
So should they take away Taxi Driver because someone wanted to go crazy because of it? I do understand the perspective of people hurt people, not the things, you know, because
it's like taking away guns. Not only is that impossible, I know that's not going to happen. What I would like to see changes is the 18-year-old thing.
I know. I agree.
To me, that's crazy. And and I know you've seen the conspiracy theories and shit.
No, I haven't. What are you talking about?
The dude, the Uvalde kid, cause they say like the CIA. I'm not like well versed in it, but they say like the CIA, like, triggers these people to do shit like this, right? And it was like the 18-year-old kid had like, maybe I'm getting this mixed up. I think he had 2 rifles that cost like $4,000, and like he lived with his grandparents, and like they wouldn't even have money like that to even have like $4,000 guns and shit. So people are saying like this. There's a whole thing about it. I'm not well versed, so I'm not gonna like go into it too deep. But they're saying like the CIA like gave the kid those guns and shit, because like people are saying like it doesn't add up how he has these guns and shit. But
He had a job.
that's something else. He had a job.
Yeah, he worked at Wendy's.
I was,
If he really wanted to like
to
shoot up a school, I wouldn't hold it against like him saving up $8,000. But I've never heard that one before. That's interesting. But
yeah, there's a conspiracy on everything. So
yeah, but when it comes to like the gun thing, it is a conversation of free will and being able to do what you want in a country that, was kind of born on that philosophy, or save the kids. Should we sacrifice some of the things that we enjoy and some of the freedoms we have for the people that might die as a result of those freedoms? Should we take away Joker because it might motivate people to shoot up a school? And that is a very difficult question that I don't really know the answer to. I'm very selfish, and I don't really like to take away the freedom to say things. I don't want that to be taken away. But I also don't want people to die like before they should. So I don't know.
yeah,
This is why China is the way it is. This is why Attack on Titan's not allowed there. This is why Taxi Driver's not allowed there. And this is why they don't have guns in China.
yeah, but it's insane how like this shit only happens, like really happens in America.
Yeah. It's because I don't even say this jokingly. We are trying to find a balance that I don't think exists. I don't think you can prevent people from doing stuff like that. Like you say the 18 thing, and I agree, but that's not going to stop it. It's going to keep happening. There's no reason why a 25-year-old can't shoot up a school. And the background check thing, like, I'm going to be honest. I've had my negative days, and I feel like I've never done anything bad. And if I was to be on some evil type shit, I could pretend that I'm okay, and it would be fine. What's saying that it isn't someone's like first offense,
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, they do background checks for pistols. Why not rifles?
No, I'm saying they should.
I'm not saying like there's no way. I know you're not gonna completely eliminate this,
Right.
but
Take your
like,
steps.
for 2 18-year-olds to have rifles and shoot up to a grocery store in a school in like the span of 1 month, like,
yeah,
it's like
I think they'll change that. I have confidence that they will.
I really don't think anything's gonna change.
Really?
I feel like we're just
Trapped.
I don't know. Not trapped. I don't know. I feel like we're just stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. This shit only really happens in America.
Land of the free. People have the freedom to do bad things as a result of that.
But it's not. I don't even think it's about being free, because a bunch of countries are free. It's like,
Are they?
yeah.
Do other countries? I'm not well versed in this, but I feel like other countries don't do what don't have the stuff that we go through because they don't have the things that the freedoms that we have. But I could be wrong about that. Like, can you buy? I don't know. Are there school shootings in like the Europe, and can people buy guns in Europe? Is that like a thing? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well.
No. Well.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know, dude.
I don't know either. This makes me very sad.
I feel like. I don't know. I feel like the way Americans are brought up and raised are just completely different from other countries.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like a Japanese person, an average Japanese person is vastly different from like an average American.
Yeah.
Even like a Swedish person or like even like a Portuguese person. It's vastly different. I don't know what it is about other countries, but maybe it's in their school system or something.
Yeah. It's interesting because there are other countries that have had weed like legalized for a long time, and they're like, yeah, why not? And they've done things that I can't come up with examples. I forget them, but they've done things that you'd think would not make the drug crisis like go down. Like I think I'm paraphrasing this hard. I don't remember, but I think that there were like centers where people, if they were having troubles, could go for like free in like certain countries, like in Canada and in like UK. And because the country was like, you guys can do whatever drugs you want and we will help you. As a result of that, culturally, if you were fucked up on drugs, people looked at you like you were crazy, and people were like, bro, what do you like? It became, the culture formed around that regulation, and as a result, it wasn't cool to be doing drugs, and people just don't do them. So the byproduct of certain choices and decisions are very interesting. People do things that are bad because you kind of tell them that they can't do it. You know? And it's interesting how other countries just being like, yeah, do whatever drugs you want. We're here to help. It's interesting how that affected the country. So I don't know. When it comes to the gun thing, there's probably some weird tangential decision that someone made besides like restricting guns. Maybe there is a country that allows guns and there's no school shootings because maybe people are happier. Maybe people don't want to shoot up a school.
But I think people just don't want to shoot up schools over there. Because even if you look at like third world countries, they got guns.
Yeah.
You know, but they're not shooting schools.
I know. I think it's very I don't want to use this analogy because it feels inappropriate towards the thing that I'm referencing, but you know how people feel like pushed down by the systems in place that feels like they're being like oppressed by their jobs or something like that. It like the Matrix kind of thing. Like some people believe that, and there's a lot of truth to it, you know. I personally think that schools like make you stupid. I think it's just slavery with extra steps, kind of like they turn you into just a fucking Mr. Anderson sitting in a cubicle doing busy work, you know. And maybe we feel like that in America and they don't feel like that other places. I don't know why. I don't know how they fixed it. And I don't know what we're doing wrong. but maybe that's why. Maybe it's what people are saying. Maybe people just aren't happy, and we're trying to come up with the happy part, but it's asking a lot of like an entire society.
Yeah.
It's really upsetting.
Oh.
I don't know either. But in lighter news, actually, I don't think I should transition into that. I'll save it for after.
Nah, you should. I feel like
You sure?
let's not be down in the dumps.
No, I have a lot of things I want to say. I have more positive things. I just had a really good segue, but it was about something that I would like to talk about after we talk about the movies. So
Okay.
we'll talk about that later. But there were a lot of things that I saw, and I'm just going to speed past them real quick. Oh, Anime Boston. I didn't even get to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a lot to say, but it was a great experience, and it made me not sad. I've been very unhappy for an extended period of time, and going to Anime Boston, I'm like, oh my god, this is I'm talking to human beings again. It's great. There were so many.
There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, there's a ton of people there. It's a very big like thing. There were so many people, so many. I don't like when my fuckboy side comes out, but there were so many females dressed up as the girl from Spy Family, and I was like, oh my god, they look so good. Yeah, it was. I had a very great time, and it's nice for me because I don't hang out with anybody. I don't hang out with Lewis. I don't hang out with like Kevin and them. I'm a lone wolf, and so I can't go to clubs. I can't go to bars, but you can kind of go to these things kind of by yourself. You don't really need to go with other people. And I need to do more stuff like this. This needs to be my club. This needs to be my bar, because I have no means of socializing with people. I don't have Instagram. I don't have stuff. So it's very hard for me to meet people. But I met people, and I had a great time. And as a result of that, I'm going to be going on another vacation in July for 3 weeks. So when it comes to recording, I don't know if you'll have the time for this, but if we want to keep our schedule going, we would need to do one every week. And I was thinking that we'll just do 2 movies for each episode, being that we're going to be doing it so back to back. And I don't know if you would be down for that. I know that our schedules are interesting, but it's okay if we like this isn't like that important for us to like be super on top of it. So if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but that's what I'm willing to do if we want to keep our like schedule going, because there's going to be another long break. And I'm really excited because I'm going to go to Fantasia Film Festival in Canada, and there's going to be some anime movies there that aren't out yet. The new Masaki Yuasa movie is going to be there, and a handful of others. So I'll come back with some news on that. And yeah, Anime Boston was great. It made me want to live. I fucking hated my life, but it was such a good experience. I'm happy I went, and I'll gladly go again next year.
Yeah,
shit was good.
I'd love to go to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice.
I'm gonna go as Piccolo.
Yeah, people walking around. You don't even have to put on the paint. People would be like, "Oh, you're Piccolo." I was like, "How do you know?" I was like, "Cause you're black and Piccolo is a Negro." Yeah, yeah. Everyone is dressed up when you go there. Everyone's decked out in some shit. It's crazy. There were so many people dressed up as one of the characters from Chainsaw Man. I was like, oh my god.
The female with red hair?
Yeah. Everyone was dressed up as her, bro. Oh, and they were bad. They looked so good. Bad in like a good way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But
she's a bad character.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that. So that was Anime Boston. I bought a couple Blu-rays. So there are some things that we can watch. I bought School Days. So whenever that's going to happen. And I bought some anime movies that I've been holding on the back burner and intentionally not recommending because I wanted to wait till I got the Blu-rays. So I'll recommend them slowly, but I really want to move away from like this being the anime podcast, and I want to be more liberal with recommending other things.
Right.
Especially if we do this once a week type beat for the next couple weeks. We're probably going to watch movies. There's probably going to be some episodes that we don't talk about anime at all. But yeah. I'm really excited to talk about all the stuff that I ended up buying. But there were a handful of things that I watched, and I'm just going to rinse through them because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Have you ever seen the Satoshi Kon short about like a girl waking up in the morning and she's like phasing? I think it was the last thing that he ever made, but you know on the Perfect Blue cover, the blue where she's like blue and she's like kind of translucent and see-through. There's like a short, like 1 minute long of like a girl waking up, but it's like multiple versions of her. So like there's parts of her that are like fully awake and there's parts of her that are half asleep. And the idea is that she's kind of like in this dreamlike state where she's not fully awake. It's fucking great. And it's probably the last thing we'll ever see from Satoshi Kon. And you should watch it. It's like 1 minute long and I'll probably send it to you when I get the chance. Then I watched Love, Death, and Robots Season 3. Are you familiar with Love, Death, and Robots?
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I heard it from you.
Okay. It was great. You should check out at least one episode. I think the best episode of Love, Death, and Robots was the last episode of Season 3. And I think you would like it. So I'd recommend literally just that. It's not connected to anything else. So if you want to just watch like a 20-minute badass thing, watch that. But all of them are pretty good. Then I watched Top Gun Maverick. Did you see people like hyping this movie up? Like on interesting. The weird thing about this movie is that it's been getting like a lot of high praise like on the internet. And I was like, okay, interesting. So I saw it and it was great. I almost cried. Yeah, I loved it. I had a great time. Top Gun is very cool. I highly recommend it. I watched a movie called 4 Months, 3 Weeks, 2 Days. I don't want to tell you what this movie is about, but do you remember when we were talking about Grave of the Fireflies and we said, like, this movie's not that bad, and you know, we were talking about like how everybody says this movie's emotionally draining, bro. I can never watch this again, and we didn't feel that way. This movie that I watched, 4 Months, 3 Weeks, 2 Days, this is that movie for me. I don't know if I can watch this again. I want to, but it would be very tough if I sat through it again. Do you want to know what it's about?
You can talk about it.
Okay. The general plot is it takes place in the 80s and it takes place in Romania, and it's about a woman getting an illegal abortion. And it's very tough to sit through, but it's great. It's like it's 8 out of 10 at least. I'd highly recommend it. It's one of the best movies I've seen recently. So there's that. And then there's a bunch of video game shit. Did you see all this video game shit, Manny? You see Street Fighter 6? You didn't?
I never play Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's fair. I tried to play Street Fighter, and Street Fighter 5 was really bad, but Street Fighter 6, it's so like Street Fighter 6 is like, it's like, it takes, so to give you some background, Street Fighter 2 is like the main Street Fighter that started it all. And then when Street Fighter 3 came out, they like changed the art style, they changed everybody's design, and it was more of a Street Fighter. It wasn't like everyone's like basic design and like basic, you know, anime fit. Everybody was dressed like they were part of the hood. And the music, like you go to the character select screen and a rap song like plays on the select screen. So it had like a really like hood nigga vibe, and people love that about Street Fighter 3. People call that the best fighting game ever made. And 4 and 5 are not like that. They're anime type shit. And Street Fighter 6 is hood nigga type beat, and it looks awesome. And it's gonna have crossplay, and it's gonna have rollback, which means it's gonna have like really good connection for like a fighting game. It's not gonna have like Dragon Ball connection. So I might get it. I might play a fighting game, Manny. I might hop on. It looks great. Look up gameplay if you're interested. I think it looks awesome.
I put it on my watch later.
Gotcha. And then there were other things like Final Fantasy 16. I don't know how much you care about Final Fantasy, but that shit looks really cool. There's like parts of the trailer for Final Fantasy 16 where like these giant Final Fantasy monsters are like fighting each other, and you think it's like a cinematic based on how it like looks, and then you see like health bars at the top of the screen, and you're like, wait a minute, this is gameplay? And you see like someone like throw like a giant spear, giant fucking explosion happen. It's like, oh, that's a cinematic. And then it shows like number damage, like, oh, he just took 3 million damage. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best game ever made. It might be bullshit, they might be fucking with me in the trailer, but it looks great. And it's not turn-based. It's like an action game. It's like Devil May Cry kind of, which looks really good. It's like Final Fantasy, Game of Thrones. And it shows like all these crazy things happening, like all these big Final Fantasy monsters fighting each other, but then it cuts to like all these old people at a table like, we will not let Siberia go to the fallen. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is my shit. Old people arguing, let's go. And I'm really excited for it. I haven't played a video game in a long time, but I hope I have a PS5 by the time that game comes out. It looks really cool.
Okay.
And then, do you have any interest in Resident Evil? Have you ever like peeped that? Okay.
No.
Well, people really fuck with Resident Evil 8, and it looks good. And I don't know. They're making like a VR version, and I have a PlayStation VR, so I would like to play it in VR. And they just announced like Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil 8 VR, so that's also something that I wanted to mention. But did you see the Sonic open world game?
No.
No. Well, they're making a Sonic. Excuse me. It's not open world. It's open zone. So if you look at the gameplay, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's open world." But they explicitly are like, "No. This is just a really big level." And it's like, "All right, bro." But they're making a Sonic open world game, and it looks kind of cool. There's that. And then in relation to the Uvalde thing that we were talking about, there's a YouTube channel that I found that I think is one of my new favorite YouTube channels. It's in easily like my top 3, if that holds any merit. It's called Channel 5, and it's about do you know this at all? Have you heard?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you know Andrew Callaghan? And he's like in a van with his friends, and he just goes to places. I've never seen it before until the shooting video. And did you see
No, I see that one.
That one? I was gonna send it to you, but I wanted to just wait until I hopped on here to tell you about it. It was incredible. I love his channel. He has some of the best YouTube videos on the entire site. He's a very thoughtful person, and I highly recommend his entire channel, because not only is he thoughtful and he lets people kind of say whatever they want to say on his channel and like lets them voice their opinion, he's also funny. It's great. He's one of the best YouTube channels, and I highly recommend at least the Uvalde video. It's great.
All right. I seen a couple of videos like a year ago.
Which ones?
The dude with the Crip guy, the Crip Mac.
Yeah, I love Crip Mac. Crip Mac, gang. You're gonna fight here on 5th Street. He has a giant 5 tattooed on his face, and like I don't want to spoil this for you, but if you watch all the videos, there's like, I'm sorry, there's like a Channel 5 cinematic universe. Like all these people that he meets come back in some way, shape, or form. Like there's this one guy who's like a, I don't really understand politics, but he's like a white guy, and he like is a conspiracy theory guy, and he's like an old man. So, you know, there's like a really popular clip of where he's like, Kobe Bryant was assassinated by the Clintons. It's just like, he always uses that clip, and it's so funny. But that guy keeps popping up because at every like popular Trump rally, because he's like a Trump person, the guy is always there. Always, no matter what state, no matter what part of the United States, he's always there. And it's so funny that they keep finding him. But because the guy who does it, Andrew, like the main dude, he's not he never really expresses his opinions, and he's not very discriminatory. So the guy likes him, and they're like cool with each other despite the crazy shit that he says, you know? Because it's not about his opinions. It's about, you know, just the fact that he's a person. And like the whole point of Channel 5 is to just show you what's going on, not to change it, you know? And it's so cool because there's one video where they all meet each other, like a bunch of insane characters from all of his things. Crip Mac, the fucking Trump supporter. There's an anti-vax lady. She like is in there. There's like one video that is a music video for like a 15-year-old white boy that he met at like a rap concert that spit bars in like a YouTube video that he uploaded, and he's like, I'm gonna let you do like a whole music video. And he brought all the people from all of his videos, and they're all just there, like the fucking Trump supporters, like, hey, like dancing to a rap song that he is like not culturally like a part of like at all. The anti-vax lady is like wearing like a whole fit, and Manny, I cannot express how good this 15-year-old kid is at rapping. He is spitting bars while Crip Mac is in the back like, yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is the best YouTube channel of all time. Please watch his videos. I love them. I love him. He's so good. And we were talking about like, we're not political and da-da-da-da-da. I feel comfortable watching his videos because I know that he doesn't lie about things. I know he's just showing me what's going on. You know, he's just going to a place and he's showing me the thing. And I love that. He went to Ukraine in like one of his videos. That was insane. Yeah. He's great. He's like one of the best YouTubers. I don't even know what else to say. Check it out.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just subscribe to him right now.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know what else I got. I think that's it, Manny. I think we can finally get into the fucking the movies and the show. So let's begin. I would like to start with Katanagatari. This is a show that has 12 episodes, and each episode is like 48 minutes long. It came out in 2010, and it's by the guy who wrote the Monogatari series, like all of them, which it has no relation despite having a very similar name. It's not related to it at all. And the Monogatari series and this were originally books. And the reason why it's adapted this way is because each chapter, I think, was just really long, and they wanted to adapt it like accurately, I guess. So they made them like hour-long episodes. And I don't really know what other tidbits to say. The story is it's a fairly simple story, despite it being from the Monogatari guy. And we haven't seen Monogatari, but everybody says that series is really avant-garde and unique and creative. And this is very simple. It's a story about a dude and a girl getting together to hunt down like 12 swordsmen. And that's kind of it. I have very mixed feelings on this show, and before I get into anything that I want to say, I want to let you speak, and I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah. Well, the artwork really looks good.
Yeah, the character design is great.
Yeah, the artwork and the character design look good.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the way the show looks, but I feel like this anime would have been better if it was just 24 episodes.
Yeah,
like 48-minute long episodes. It's kind of, for me, it was hard to get into.
Yeah,
it was hard to focus
mm-hmm.
for that long for one episode.
Mm-hmm.
And because most of the show is dialogue, the show really relied on its main cast to carry the show.
Right.
Because, of course, it's more talking than fighting. And the fight scenes, there's not many fight scenes, and when they do come up, they're short. So, like, the show's not really, like, action-packed. It's more just, it's adventure. But this adventure is filled with dialogue. And it's not even like the dialogue's bad, but it feels like it's drawn out. I feel like the show feels like the episodes were constructed to be 24 minutes, but then dragged on to 48 minutes. And I know that's not how it was intended, but that's how it feels like. Because I feel like a bunch of episodes were structured poorly.
I agree.
And I just, it's hard to focus, knowing that you've been watching for 30 minutes straight and you still got 15 more minutes to go.
Yeah.
But
I'm very happy that you feel that way, because I think it's fair to say this is the most painful thing I've watched for this. It was very long, Manny. Last Sunday, I text you and I was like, you don't have to finish Katanagatari if this is why you have to delay the episode. Because you said we can't record, and I'm like, if it's because you didn't finish it, just hop on, bro. It's okay. And I'm going to be really honest with you, Manny. I was fully intending on hopping on that episode and telling you I watched 3 episodes and I didn't watch the rest because I didn't. And then when I delayed it because I was like, I don't want to disrespect Manny like that, especially if he sat down and watched the whole thing. I'm going to watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing, and because you expressed your opinion, I'm just going to, I fucking hated it. This was insane in its length. And I think we have to take into account this show was originally aired monthly, not weekly. And that makes a lot of sense, because I've said this before, when you watch something spread apart, it's easier to forgive the sins of the show because you're experiencing it in bite-sized chunks. So if I was watching an hour-long episode, even if the episode is long and drawn out, it's only an hour a month. I'm not going to be, when you watch a show and the show has bad things about it, you don't remember the bad things if the positives outweigh it. Like Attack on Titan, there are some things I don't like about Attack on Titan, but when I sit here and I think about it, I don't think about the things I don't like. I remember the things I love about that show. And when I took a break from Katanagatari, I'd watch an episode and I'd just be doing normal stuff. I'd be like, damn, that moment with that character was great. And that part with this guy was really good. And I'd think that, and then I'd sit down and be like, all right, let's get into it. Let's I'm in the mood. I'm actually want to watch this show. And for every part that was good, there was it was just drawn out to a point where it just made it worse. I don't think that I like what you said where the dialogue's not bad. I agree. The dialogue isn't bad. I actually think the show is pretty well written for what it is. But I think it goes on. I think I can comfortably say every part of the show goes on for too long. In episode 2, there's a bit where the characters are talking about a catchphrase. And I'm like, this is cute. This is funny. I'm fucking with this. And it keeps going and going and going. And then I'm like, how long was that? I looked at the time, Manny. That back and forth was 10 minutes long. 10 minutes long, bro. No. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And that's the entire show.
Yeah. It was very hard to watch. And I just couldn't remain focused, man.
Me neither. Man,
it is like I said, the dialogue's not bad, but it's not like Re:Zero for me has the best dialogue in anime, especially like season 2. And it's like like Re:Zero can like this show can like just carry on with just pure dialogue and it'll be like amazing to me, right? But this show is just like the characters themselves are just not interesting enough, you know?
Yeah. It's funny you use that comparison. Do you know that Re:Zero has a director's cut, and the director's cut compiles the 24 episodes to be like 48-minute episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about season 2 though, when I say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Season 2 is when I was going crazy every episode. Season 2 is better than season 1, but
okay.
But this show, it's like I like Togame. I like the main characters. Like
I like them too. It's hard.
I like them, but it's the Shichika. Like his drip is crazy. It's fire. Togame's drip is fire.
Shichika's the dude, the main guy. Okay, I forgot his name. Yeah, he looks great. He's one of the coolest anime characters I feel like I've seen, honestly.
Yeah, he looks cool, but is this that
it's
missing something?
It's one thing, and it's that thing the whole time. And the show, because of how well written it is, and because of the story actually being like kind of engaging and kind of like really good setup, you think, at least I thought, this might go somewhere. Let me keep giving it a chance. Let me keep going through episodes. And when I got to like episode 7 really was like the one where I'm like, wow, nothing's gonna happen, huh? Like episode 7 was the one where he fought his sister, and it's so interesting how that does not change the status quo. Not really. Everything just keeps going. They keep hunting the blades. The girl's hair is short and the sister's dead, I guess. But you think that something's going to happen with the ninjas. You think that something's going to happen with the blonde girl. You think that something's going to happen with the main girl. And the stuff that happens, at least to me, is not worthy of the time that I invested. It's very hard for me to talk about this show critically beyond just it's too long, because that's the real thing that ruins it. I mean, there are other things that I really am excited to ask you about, but that's the main thing, bro. It's why is it? I understand why it's this long, but you said 24 episodes. I think this shit could be 12. I think you can make each episode like a 24 episode thing and just make it thing. Even the last episode.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if they was gonna keep it 48 minutes, it would have been better. Just like,
yeah, it's so interesting. Like, if they cut in the middle, I'd be able to take a break. I'd be able to tell myself, all right, I just finished an episode. That was boring, but I'll come back for the next one. And I don't know why, but I think bad anime pacing is more tolerable in 24-minute chunks than it is in hour-long chunks, because you're experiencing it in bite-sized pieces. So it's like, all right, that episode was bad, but let's do another one. That episode was bad, but I finished it. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, I got excited when I saw the 48-minute per episode thing.
Me too. You think it's going to be avant-garde. You think it's going to be creative. You think it's going to justify that. And it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It's
And plus, a lot of the built up fight scenes weren't even good.
The fights were driven on writing. They were not driven on animation.
And it's not even the animation. It's more like just how the fights went and the style, because they do the whole like, I'm gonna explain what I'm doing mid fight.
Yeah.
Explain what you're doing mid fight.
Yeah.
Let's see what.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he like the dude like he does a kick and it's like, boom, he did the family kick. It's like, all right.
It's like, yeah, I know. I had the same reaction.
It's not cool enough to warrant like a fucking flash to the face.
Yeah. I feel like I could be so much more critical about this show, but after a while I just stopped taking notes because I'm like, what's the point? Why even bother?
But yeah.
But as always, I'm happy we watched it so we can tell people we don't like it.
But I did like. I feel like their relationship was natural.
I agree. It was great.
It was a natural progression.
Mm-hmm.
Natural progression, and it was cute when they got the kiss, and I like how they wasn't like scared to like hold each other or nothing like that. It was like he's like, oh, I like you, you like me, but don't touch me. You know?
Yeah.
I can't stand that, but they show like they like rest on each other. She would sit on his lap,
right?
She like, and they're like it flowed nicely, and then like when they kiss and shit, it's like. It makes sense, right? And I really do appreciate that. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought
it up. A lot
of
anime get that very wrong. You know what I mean? They did the whole relationship thing wrong. I mean, right? But when she dies in the end, I was actually like, damn.
Yeah.
Even though like I wasn't like fully invested into the show, when she died, I was like, fuck. I was actually kind of like, damn, because they speak about like. What are we gonna do after the 12 Blades? Yeah, they'll talk about it even like before like the final episodes and shit. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay with you anyway. Blah blah blah. And then she dies. Damn.
What do you think about her death scene and like what she said when she?
That shit was too long too.
It was insane for the death scene. You're gonna make it too long? I was like, guys,
like she kept talking about nothing. Like, bro, at that point, I was like, bro, you might as well just bring it to the
doctor. You can make it, honestly. Yeah,
you can definitely make it. Like,
it was so annoying.
It was too long, man.
I know. And what she was saying was,
I don't know. What she was saying was fucking lame too.
Yeah, it was like, bro.
I was using you. You're
yeah.
I was gonna kill you after. All right.
Like, bro, if I wasn't so
sweet, like
I know, if I wasn't so bored,
I wish we would have spent our time without the blades.
Yeah.
I would have killed you anyway. Fuck you.
If I wasn't so bored, that would be like a bad ending for me. Like it's hard for me to complain because I just off rip, I just don't care because I'm not invested enough. But I think that I don't think that was good. I don't like that. She said that.
I don't know. It doesn't like. What does that do for anyone?
I know, right?
What does that do for the viewer, and what does that do for Shichika? It's like, okay.
I feel like
y'all could have just made it like super sweet.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
It's insane because this show is driven on that, and then it wants to have like this commentary, like it's trying to, because I don't know, I really shouldn't analyze the show like this, but it's talking about like, you know, being human versus being a sword, and I guess the ending is supposed to kind of be the ultimate test of like I don't know, are you human when I don't treat you like a human? Like, you know, in this moment where I'm invalidating everything, do you have any reason to live after this? Do you have any reason? Are you going to continue being a sword? Or are you going to continue being a human? What's the balance? I see what it's doing, but it's frustrating because there are shows that have done the big twist, like I was mean the whole time, and I can't think of them. I don't know. Tower of God, like, how was that? You know, was that better?
That shit was crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I think you can do that well, but for some reason in this show it doesn't work because
it doesn't work.
Yeah,
man. It's
so annoying. 11 hours.
Anything for no one.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't.
What did he expect the viewer to how do you expect us to react? Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Let her have her cute moment or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was so lame, bro.
I don't want to be annoying about it, but I also question because in the final battle, he's like full speed, like when he's fighting the gun guy. I wondered if he could have blocked the bullet.
That's not. I was thinking that during, like,
Yeah.
while it was all happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was
you could have like blocked it.
yeah, you're the fastest one, right? I don't know.
You like got shot like 20 times and ate all of them bullets.
Yeah, and he survived. Like, he lived. If you literally went like, everything would be okay. Like if you just took one step to the right.
I mean, if I guess it's good that she died because she was gonna kill him anyway. I don't know how.
Yeah, what the fuck were you gonna do? Shoot him? With the I hate this show, man. When he went to the Shogun's house and he like walked up the stairs, I was impressed by how much the show was stretching out. I'm like, yo, you really gonna just keep doing this? Like one by one. I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like, do you watch it on 9 Anime? Manny, I actually, I didn't want to say this, but because we're on the same page, I guess I'll say this.
You put on time speed?
The first time from last week, I watched the first 3 episodes, and then I was like, this is impossible. I watched episode 4 and 5. I watched it on my computer. I downloaded the episodes, and the media player that I use, it gives me the ability to speed it up however long I want. And it's pretty good at doing it. Like it works. So I sped it up beyond 2. I did it at like 4, and I could still read the subtitles, but it was going extremely fast. And even at 4 times speed, I'm like, this is still hard, like, to sit through. And I was like, after episode 6, like, even when he was fighting the sister, I turned it up to 10 times speed. And then after that, I turned it up to 14 times speed. And then by the time I was on the last episode, I was watching a PowerPoint. Like, it was like 16 times speed. I turned off the subtitles. I'm just like, let me see. And then after that, I decided I'm going to actually watch the show because I need to talk about it with Manny. I need to be able to like tell him that I know what's going on. And despite on the second viewing, when I did watch it like legit, I would turn it to 1.5 times speed and 2 times speed. And I never really went beyond that. And even though I did that, I still can't really tell you what happens at the end. I can't really tell you what the ending is. It's confusing as fuck. Like, what happened? Why did the girl go with him?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
I don't know. Manny, I want to ask you, where did you hear about this show? Like, who recommended it?
I forgot.
You
It's been so long.
It's been so long.
But it has like an 8.3 ML. That's good. That's really good ML.
It has an 8.3 ML. It has high ratings on IMDb. And when I searched it up, there were a lot of things that were coming up in my feed, like top 10 anime of the decade, and people would put it on there. I was like, okay.
There's no way. That's impossible.
Manny, it's stupid people. It's not like YouTubers that I respect or anything. It's like, IGN, Polygon. Yeah, like I saw it on Polygon. I'm like, okay, Polygon, fucking. This is the most painful thing I've ever watched. I don't know if is it the worst thing I've ever seen? No, but I've never had more trouble sitting through something. From Up on Poppy Hill was a very painful experience. Like I actually hate that movie, but guess what? Poppy Hill is only like an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah,
this is 12 hours long.
When I think of things that, because I didn't watch it. I watched it in normal speed, the entire thing.
Oh my God. I'm amazed, Manny. Holy shit. More power to you, bro.
The only time I ever turned up the speed was for Baki. Dude. For me, that's the hardest thing I've watched. Mm-hmm. This is like up there.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing I recommended for sure.
But I'm happy we watched it. Don't feel bad. Please don't feel bad. I love. What's up?
No, you can go ahead.
I love when we watch bad things. I like that we cut this off the list because there's a lot of people that talk about it. Yeah. But what were you gonna say?
I saw something else as well. Well, we can end this conversation now. Go talk about this for a little.
There's a couple things I want to ask you before we end Katanagatari. What did you think of? So every episode is they go to get a blade, right? They kill a guy, they go to get a blade. What did you think of? Did you watch the episode previews? Like at the end of the episode when they like next time on Katana. Oh, you didn't? Oh, dude. You know the guy that they skipped? Like they don't show you the fight?
Yeah.
And they hype him up like so much. In the preview, they do a fake out and they show you a lot of really well animated like fighting between him and that dude. And you're sitting there like, dude, that's the best animation I've seen up until this point. That's crazy. And like, bro, the preview was insane. Like there was a shark that they cut in half. I'm like, oh my God. Like it was cool. Like it didn't look like they just took clips from the show. It looked like they were like, guys, it's going to be crazy. And then the next episode, they don't show him. What did you think of that?
I didn't see it.
Even though you didn't see it, were you upset they didn't show the guy because they were hyping him up regardless of that preview,
I was just like, that's stupid.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah, but I didn't really think about it much. I was like, that's stupid.
Well, I wanted to also ask you about the fight with the sister. What did you think about? Did you notice that the show at the end of episode 6 is like, come back next time on Katanagatari to see Shichika kill his sister. Bye bye. See you next episode. I was like, oh my God. They fucking just told you.
I remember that. That's ridiculous. I guess like putting into perspective that it was coming out monthly, it's still goofy, but I mean, I guess it's like their version of a cliffhanger, like, oh, come back next month.
Yeah.
Body his little sister or his big sister.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, okay.
You didn't care enough to be mad.
Nah, like I was so like unfocused, man.
Yeah.
So focused. Jeez, man.
I'm proud of you for sitting through this. Manny, I want you to know you don't have to ever do this again. You don't ever have to sit through a show like this far for this. But I'm so happy you did, and I'm glad I did too. I'm glad we both pushed through. The fucking I had to remind myself about their motivations and why they were doing what they were doing. Like the ninjas, when they're getting like mopped every episode, I was like, why are you guys doing this again? Like, is this really that deep to where like There's only 2 of you left. You're really gonna go out of your way to do this? And then they all die. It's insane because it's not like other anime where they like reinforce why they're doing what they're doing. They say it once and then they never really call back to it. And I just forgot like why they were doing what they were doing. And the girl, the blonde bitch, what was the point to her?
I don't know, the whole rewrite history thing. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. I couldn't wrap my head around it either. It was like Attack on Titan, but it was conveyed in like a really poor way. And it was like shoehorned into like the end of the show, I think. It was awful.
I don't know. It was like Shikazaki got whatever the nigga name. It was like he wants to rewrite history.
Yeah.
For some reason. But like I guess the main character was meant to go like kill the Shogun.
Yeah. But who cares about that? The only thing I liked about this show, the main thing I liked, was the relationship between the 2 main characters. And then it turns into this Attack on Titan like commentary on society and da-da-da-da. And it's like, I don't fucking care. Like, why did it turn into that? I was so surprised when Shikazaki Kiki like came back. I'm like, okay, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that like the best animated part was like in episode 10 when he's talking to like that lolly old man character? They flash back to when he's fighting the girl that has like the training sword, and it was like the best animated part of the show. I'm like, okay, this looks really good. That was weird.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And even the last episode doesn't get that good, at least to me. I was like, that was odd. I don't know. When he fought the gun guy, it was animated. It was animated well. They went a little hard on that, but it wasn't as good as that flashback part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all I got, man.
Yeah. Just him being with the blonde girl at the end is so strange.
It's extremely strange. And
where's the bad guy?
Oh my god, I'm so happy I remember this. The ending of the show is like the narrator is like the story of. She said something along the lines of, in the story of Katanagatari, there were so many people, so many journeys, and now everyone will have a happy ending. And I'm like, bitch, they're dead. They all died a sad death. Are you saying they're going to be happy in the afterlife? Like, he didn't save. Did he save the day? I don't think he did. like their goals are not going to be flourished. You know, like,
yeah.
That's it.
And, you know, his like reasonings too, because it was like when it first started, I was like, oh, this is probably gonna be a thing where like he learns a valuable like lesson through the like fighting the blades.
Yeah.
And he like when he fought the girl, the first girl, not the first girl, but the first girl he fought.
In the last episode. You mean the first? Are you talking about the first girl when he was going up the tower, or the first girl from episode?
No, like the fucking the girl that like was drinking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Her like she was like episode 2.
Yeah.
I was like, he beat her. He was like, and she was like, why do you fight? He was like, I fight for Tsugame.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the thing again when he's fighting like the holy, or whatever. And like it's like they did it the whole thing again. He's like, I fight for Tsugame.
Yeah.
I thought you knew that already. You did it in like episode 2.
Yeah.
I guess it's like you reinforced it, but he's like, I fight for Tsugame.
I know.
I was like, I know. I was like, I know.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot?
Yeah, nothing happens to make him like lose sight of that. It's really frustrating.
I just can't believe Tsugame was just gonna kill this motherfucker somehow.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're talking about it and focusing on these aspects, because this was insane. I've never seen an anime, so you know, I think the number one thing I compare it to is Fate, because Fate, at least from my experience, is a very talky show. Fate's just like this, where like niggas are talking the whole time. the fights are not really like that crazy. It's more about the talking, and Fate does that well. Fate does the talking well, and even when Fate's going on too long, I don't feel like Fate's. It's 24 episodes, so when there's a part that's too long, I'm just like, all right, let me just finish the episode, and then like I'll come back in like an hour. You know, I can't even do that with this show. I took breaks every episode. I don't think I watched any episode in full unless I was watching it like 2x speed. I this time it was insane, Manny. I was laying down. I had my head like in my pillow like this, and I'm watching Katanagatari on my TV, and I'm just, my eyes are like, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep because the show is boring. I cannot express like the realization of that woke me up. I was like, no. It was insane. I've never felt this way about something where like, because I was in a state where I was like, I was kind of awake to where if I was watching like Attack on Titan, I would have stayed up, you know? I was so mad because my sleep schedule was so ass, and I had to really go out of my way to find time to watch this show. So when I did find the time for the show to put me to sleep, I'm like, I literally don't have time to be falling asleep to this, bro. Like, come on. Like, it was so annoying. I think that's all I got. We could go on and on, but you know, we're so low energy about the show because the show itself is low energy. Like there's nothing to get excited about. There's nothing to talk about. I can't believe people like this. We go on my anime list, like the vast majority of reviews are like positive. I'm like, I might hop on there and just write my own review just to add to the pool of like people that fucking hate this show. And because of that, I was scared that I was gonna hop on. You're gonna be like, nah, I loved it. I was really worried about that. That's why I was like, you go first, because I don't want to be like a hater. But I'm glad we feel the same way. And it sucks because I want to give this show a 1. I want to say I hate this show, but I can't in confidence say that it's like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's the most painful thing I've sat through, but I have seen worse. So I don't know.
I'm gonna give it a 5. 5, and my 5's bad on my scale.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 4. And after this conversation, I'm considering pushing it down to a 3, but 4 might be a little generous, but yeah, 4 or 3. It's a 4 for now. Yeah, I didn't like it, but glad I watched it so that if anybody asks me about it, I can be like, that shit's ass. Okay, so finally we're done with that shit. What were you gonna talk about? The other.
I watched the XXXTentacion documentary. And
what's it called?
Look at Me. I think it's called Look at Me.
Look at Me. Okay.
Came on Hulu like a month ago, 2 months ago.
How was it?
I watched it, and I thought the whole thing was really about him, like, you know, coming up and then like beating the shit out of his girlfriend, and then he dies. And it was like, I'm happy they didn't hold back, because like the way people would talk about it, he was like, yo, like, people were like, there's one part where he was like, she laughed at someone's joke, and then he was like, he got mad, and then when they got home, like, he locked their door and started beating her and like was drowning her in the sink, and then people was like, hey, stop, and I was like trying to help her, but he locked the door and shit. And then it was like, and then there was the whole part where like he like beat the shit out of her and like kept her in his house and didn't let her leave, and then like she snuck out and ran to the police and shit, and then he went to jail, and then like he blew up in jail. Like he got famous as fuck in jail. Then he came out, then he was like a superstar, then dropped like a #1 album, then another one, and then he died. But they didn't hold back on the whole like him beating the shit out of her, you know.
Was there videos of that? Like the
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was happy they didn't hold back because they could have just been like, yeah, he'd beat his girl, but
Yeah.
he was facing like 20 years
Oh wow.
because the girl dropped the charges, but the prosecutor was like, fuck that shit, and it was like gonna continue with the case.
Wow.
And, like he was gonna
fire.
get 20 years, like facing up to 20 years, and then he died.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
That's
and it was crazy because I knew like he beat his girl, but I didn't know it was that bad.
right.
And like the documentary is made by his mom and like his people, and they chose not to like hold back on that, you know. So I give them props for that. There's a part where the mom is like, they asked her like, "Do you really think he did beat the shit out of her?" And she was like, you know, she knows he did, but she doesn't want to say yeah. She's just like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Man.
That is crazy.
I watched it because like I liked X.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm really glad.
I like them, and it's not like I don't like him. Like I like his music,
Mm-hmm.
and then I haven't heard of him so long, so I watched the documentary, and it just happened to come on Hulu. And I have Hulu, so I watched it, and
That's
yeah.
really interesting. Do you remember like the conversation we were having about like canceling and how, you know, if someone does a bad thing, you're still going to appreciate the thing? That's tough because I do think about certain songs of X's that I like, and despite I really don't. It makes me sad to hear that happen. Does that change the music for you?
I want to be real. No.
Yeah, me neither. It's yeah. It's weird, man. I can't
weird.
listen to like Sad. Is that the name of the song? Sad, where it's like suicide. I cannot listen to that song and feel like there's no heart and like sincerity in it.
Yeah. Because when he came out of jail, like he was like, they showed him making like a change and stuff, like and all that shit, but and then he like passed away.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And there's a conspiracy with Drake, like some people saying Drake killed him. Have you heard of that?
No. Tell me. This seems funny.
It's not in the documentary, but like Drake. So when he died, Drake was on a flight to some Caribbean island, and then like he has a song where he says, "They got him while I flew to Turks," and like Drake, Drake was flying to Turks when he died, and then there's another song he said, XXX. He said SMS XXX. They only shoot below the neck. And like SMS, send my shooters XXX XXX, and they only shoot below the necks, and they only shot below his neck. And there's a whole conspiracy.
That was the intent of that verse. Like that can't be interpreted any other way. That's an insane thing to put in your song, and then for no one to be like, if that's the only interpretation that you can derive from that. Because when you said SMS, I immediately thought of like texting. I didn't think send my shooters.
I know. That's the thing.
I wonder if Drake meant texting.
Maybe.
He should have said SOS. Then there would be no misinterpretation.
Yeah.
But
he couldn't be too upfront, you know.
Why would if you kill someone? Why would you put it in your song? If you actually did do that, why would you fucking put it in your song?
Because it's a conspiracy.
Drake wants to feed into it.
What are we gonna do? Or like the cops can't prove it, so I am speaking. Drake said a lot of shit in songs.
Okay. Well, I'm speaking against that conspiracy because it seems ludicrous that someone would be like, yeah, I did it. What are you gonna do about it?
I think that's very common. Right?
It's very common. Okay, I'm not in the rap game enough, so
they were beefing before he died too.
Wow. Well, Speaking of Drake,
Yeah.
did you? My dog is barking. Give me 1 second.
The
Okay.
album.
Yeah, the album.
You was about to leave it?
My dog is barking. So can you hear it?
No.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna calm it down. I'll be right back. All right. I think my dog is gonna keep barking, but we're just gonna keep going.
I can't hear it anyways.
Okay.
But-
So, yeah. Did you listen to the new Drake album?
Yeah.
Did you listen to the new Kendrick album?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've listened to it. I am gonna go to hell. I listened to that Drake album. I didn't listen to the Kendrick album. I feel so bad because I listened to the Drake album because I knew it was a surprise release, and I know Drake. I know the type of music he makes. I know that I don't have to really give it my full attention. I know he's not really saying anything, so that's why I listened to it. And it's all like the same shit that I'm like used to from Drake, where it's like, you know, it's hard to explain. He makes the same type of music like every time. It's interesting. I don't know if you feel the same way, but what did you think about it?
I feel completely opposite because this is like a dance album. Like it's under the category dance. So it's no hip hop other than like the last song. But it's like club. It's like European club music. You know what I mean? It's like he's not rapping at all, and it's mostly just beats. That's why I feel like
you don't feel like he does that a lot. Like I think of like I haven't listened to like a lot of the recent albums, but I feel like he does like I'm just gonna sing and it's gonna be like a really light beat. I feel like I've seen that a lot.
But he does the singing thing, but it's not like with this album. It's like he would like sing, and then the beat would like ride for like a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
Or usually like he's just singing like throughout the whole song. But this is like club music, not the clubs I like going to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the music is like
yeah.
you're dancing like that and shit. But I feel like this is completely different from what he usually does because everything else, all the other albums he's released have all been like hip hop under the genre of hip hop. But this is like distinctively like dance, a dance album. So I feel like that's why it had no like. That's why I was so surprised because I feel like he wouldn't like hype up a new genre that he's trying. So, and he said he's gonna drop another album this year, which I think is gonna be completely hip hop. So, I think even though like all the songs kind of sound the same, other than the last song, I do like a few of them. Like Massive,
them too. Mm-hmm.
Massive is like a song that I actually like dance to.
Yeah.
You know, like I love Drake. I really like Drake. It's not my type of album, you know.
Yeah. Did you
But I'll say like the last song when he's rapping with 21 Savage.
Mm-hmm.
I really that's like a normal Drake song.
Interesting. What do you think about like One Dance? You don't think One Dance like would fit perfectly on this album if they put it on?
I would, but see, One Dance was on Views, and that was just like that song in Controller. Those are two songs that were like this out of like a 20-song album. That was like nothing like that.
Interesting.
You know what
I didn't listen to Views at all. Was Hotline Bling on that one?
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Okay.
Because he has like a verse in that. He's like rapping in it. So like the beats are similar, but he's like rapping.
A lot of it is him singing. A lot of it is him singing.
Yeah, but he has like a verse, like a rap verse.
Okay.
But I know what you mean. But this isn't like, I wouldn't say this is casual like Drake music.
Interesting.
Okay. You probably have like this album. You probably have like one or two of these songs like this album in like a rap album to be so it can like have like variety. You know what I mean? But this is the first time he's done it where it's just like one dance, one dance, one dance, one dance, one dance.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But the Kendrick album.
Yeah, I feel bad that I didn't listen to it, but I'm just intimidated. I feel like it's going to take a while, and I feel like I need to give it focus. But what did you think without spoiling the album, I guess? I mean, you can tell me your favorite songs, like which one you liked. I mean, you can't really spoil the album for me. Just
yeah. It's um, it's like his. He has a lot of messages in it, but one of like the big ones is that like Mr. Morale is like a Jesus type figure. That's always on the thing on the album.
Yeah.
The thorn thing.
Yeah.
And it's like he's like commentating on like how like the public perception of him is like as like a black figure, like a black leader.
Yeah.
A leader for black people, and like and throughout the album he's just talking about like his flaws and how like people, even though people see him like that, he himself probably doesn't see himself like that. And he talks a lot about like unrealistic expectations of him. You know what I mean? Like, which I entirely agree, because like Kendrick Lamar is one of the best rappers ever, right? And people like, especially black people really expect like his albums to like have such like significance to like black people and like culture. And even though like they do, I feel like it's such a burden on him.
Yeah.
It's such a heavy burden to like carry on that like perception. Mm-hmm. And I think throughout the album he's talking about like he's just like a normal guy, you know what I mean? So I feel like the messages, he talks about a lot of other stuff too, but the messages of the album are very deep. It's one of his deepest albums, but it's like musically it's not one of his best, because like it's more about the message, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he kind of like sacrificed, I know, like this is how I see it, like he sacrificed the sound of the music for the message.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like the album is more of like a one-time listen.
Right.
Like you listen to what he's saying, but you don't go in the car and play it.
Right. You
know, some songs are like that for sure. Some songs are like that, but like not the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's more of just like a message album.
Yeah.
But I feel like his last album, Damn,
mm-hmm.
like that one was like
a music album.
It was like incredible music. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite album from him, and he also said it's his favorite album.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how because he said that before this album came out, so I don't know how he compares this one, but he said that's his favorite one. It's my favorite one from him as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like, and it's interesting because Damn sold like 600K, and like that's like Drake numbers, right? Selling 600K albums, that's like Drake numbers.
Yeah.
And to put it in perspective, like J. Cole and Kanye sell like 250. Like he sold like Drake, like the Drakes, the Ed Sheerans, Kendricks, and like the Justin Biebers and shit. They sell like upwards to like 600, right? But this time, he only sold like 230.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because, I'm not saying because the music was bad, but also because like he was gone for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was like, there's a bunch of videos of him just in Africa playing like video games in Africa with kids and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just on doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how like that album had 600K and this one had like 230.
Do you know how To Pimp a Butterfly did?
No.
To Pimp a Butterfly, I think, is a very message first kind of album as well. And I'm curious how that went, because I remember in high school I was going crazy about it, and then I remember people being like, I don't really want to listen to like a message album. I remember my friends telling me like, I'm not saying it's bad, but I want music, not like message music.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
It sold 330. That's a lot.
Well, a lot of people like to listen to music for music, and some people like it for the message. And I guess the people that want the message, the people that want the message versus the people that want the music is smaller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I will say this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say that To Pimp a Butterfly, I think, is a perfect like music album and message album. Like,
I agree.
when it comes to message albums, I kind of see it as like a movie. Like, you sit down and you like experience the whole thing and you listen to it and you give it your full attention. And music, you like bump to it and you're like, yeah, this is like, you're just in the car, not even paying attention to what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
I think To Pimp a Butterfly, I think almost every song, I don't even remember every song, so I shouldn't say that, but there's a lot of songs in that album that I can bump to, but also are message songs. I didn't listen to Damn because Damn wasn't a message album, actually. That's actually like, I made a conscious effort, like, I don't really want to listen to an album that's not like To Pimp a Butterfly. But I'll listen to this one.
But I'll take back the Damn. I'm not saying Dan doesn't have a message. It's just not like
it. Yeah, it's not
like To Pimp a Butterfly thing.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly, I think it's one of the best like rap albums ever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Kendrick. That's why Kendrick is one of the best rappers ever. It's because like his albums are all like masterpieces.
Mm-hmm.
No one does it like him, really.
Yeah.
Not even like J. Cole. But like J. Cole's last album, I would rather listen to J. Cole's last album because like
right.
musically it's just superior. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
This supersedes the message.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting songs. Mr. Morale.
Best music song and favorite message song.
Purple Hearts for the music.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a message song where like he's talking about, I think his auntie is transgender, and he talks about that.
You don't remember the name?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I'll keep an eye out for both of those. Are there any other rappers that you feel like are worth mentioning that you like?
No.
Really? What music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of rap, but they're not really worthy. But the best rap album ever is Illmatic. And if you haven't listened to it, yeah,
I haven't listened to it.
That's like,
yeah.
The album is like 9 songs, and they're all like individually like the best rap songs ever.
That's pretty cool.
That's it, and I know that's a crazy statement, but I'm not lying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's something you should listen to.
Okay.
Like every song is like incredible.
I'm scared to listen to the new Kendrick album because I feel like without giving certain context, I'm not going to be able to understand certain things. Is Nas an album? Is that an album I can listen to?
Yeah, you can listen to it.
Understand? Right. Okay. I'll probably listen to that before the Kendrick one. I feel like Kendrick is like season 4 of like an anime that I didn't watch the first 3 seasons of. But that's okay. All right. Cool. That's that. I love music. I like Gorillaz. I listen to a lot of like non-rap stuff. Do you know Gorillaz? No. There's a lot of stuff that I enjoy.
I'm gonna actually send you a song.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a rap song. It's like alternative song.
Mm-hmm.
But
please do.
That shit's been stuck in my fucking head. Nice. Like if I made an anime, I would make that song my own.
Cool. All right. Make sure to send it to me after the episode. All right. I guess we can get into the next one. Let's talk about Black Swan. Black Swan is the one that I recommended. It is so. Got to make a correction from last episode. I said that Black Swan won Best Picture, Best Cinematography, It was nominated for all those things. It did not win. It won Best Actress for Natalie Portman. That's the only thing it won. And then everything else it got nominated for. So, but it's a movie about a girl who's a ballerina, and she's trying to get into a play called The Swan Lake, which is actually a real play. It's actually a real thing. So that is pretty dope. And she's getting into this play, The Swan Lake, which requires her to play a white swan and a black swan who have opposing personalities, and it's very Perfect Blue-esque in the sense that she can't really balance the two, and one's kind of overtaking the other a little bit. And I recommended it because we watched Perfect Blue, and I wanted to compare and contrast. And I enjoyed the movie. I don't really know how I feel about it in comparison to Perfect Blue. Like I don't really have an opinion on that yet. I have to think about it, but I did enjoy it. What did you think about the movie?
Yeah, I like Perfect Blue more, but that doesn't take away from this one, because even though like they're similar, they have a lot of other things going for it.
Yeah.
This movie,
one thing
I missed a lot of. Go ahead.
One thing that you said about like the Satoshi Kon movies is that they're so varied, despite them being all kind of samey, that you can watch them back to back. Did you feel the same way about this, or were you kind of like, oh, I'm just watching Perfect Blue, I'd rather watch Perfect Blue?
Nah, I didn't feel like that.
Okay.
I didn't feel like that. You know, like I drew comparisons. I wasn't like,
yeah,
it wasn't like a complete ripoff. You know.
Me too. I felt like this movie stands on its own. It's its own experience.
Yeah, absolutely. This movie is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I saw Mila Kunis,
I was surprised.
I had such a crush on her back in the day.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I love Mila Kunis.
Yeah,
she was great in this movie. She's like,
yeah.
I never took her as like an actor. I feel mean saying that, but this is the best thing I've seen her in.
She does a good job. This movie's so it's bizarre, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it all started with oh my god, there's so much things to talk about. Well, first off, like I'm upset I didn't catch it. I read an article about it. Not an article. I read a comment on it, and it's talking about like how the white swan is like this purity, innocence, and like childhood,
right?
And like the black swan is like adult womanhood shit.
Yeah.
And it I think it's true because she acts like such a child in the movie, and like her mom still like runs her life.
Right. Yeah.
The dude was like, "Are you a virgin?" She's like, "No."
Yeah.
And like and the dude, but like whenever like when he was like getting mad, he's like, "Let loose," and he's like, he's getting crazy. He's like, and she's just like,
yeah.
She was like so pouty, and I forgot what scene it is, but this is scene where someone says something, and she's like, "No, I'm not," and I was like, so like it's so childish.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's so childish, and like beginning to mid part of the movie, and then like when she tries to assume the Black Swan role, like does all the adult things like talking back to your mom, going out, drinking, clubbing, and all that shit, and that's when it's just like shit starts going crazy. And I guess it all starts when the motherfucker kisses her, right? Would you say that? That's when it, like things start really like getting kind of crazy. I think that was like the catalyst.
Yeah, that was when he kisses her like in the room. That is the very first. That's the very first moment where it all begins, and it's consistent. He keeps doing stuff like that throughout the movie.
Yeah. And I compared that to Perfect Blue when she got like raped in a movie. That's one thing I was kind of like, I wish he like kind of changed it. It didn't like from Perfect Blue.
Right.
But that one was like something sexual happened, and then like I wish it like kind of did it in a different way. I don't know how, but I wish it wasn't like in a sexual way. But I
do think the stuff in Perfect Blue starts way before that though. If that's, I know that's not what you're saying. But yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think the stuff in Perfect Blue like starts almost like at the very beginning, kind of. Doesn't like the envelope happen before the rape scene, and like
the envelope blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with the delusions though.
Right. I see what you mean.
I think that one started with the rape, because that's when she went home and the fish were dead, and she started bugging out.
She started seeing virtual Mima in the train, like in like one of the very first scenes of the movie.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with in the Black Swan, like she saw herself in the train.
Right. That's true.
I guess they were tripping before, but then like the sexual thing happened, and then it went into overdrive.
Right.
But yeah, that shit happened, and then like
I like that the sexual thing is like the centerpiece of it, and it leans into that being the Black Swan like trait, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's exactly the same in Perfect Blue. I think it's a little different in terms of
I feel like
the movie pushes her to like do these sexual things, and then by the end of it she's kind of like yeah in order to get it, you know. But when she does it in Perfect Blue, it's not like she falls into it or anything, you know. She does it, and then she doesn't like that she did it, kind of. But I do know what you mean.
I don't feel like the Black Swan. I don't feel like in Black Swan. I don't feel like she was like yeah.
Well, that's kind of the whole idea.
Even though she assumes the Black Swan traits, it's more like
a balance between White Swan and Black Swan. Yeah. It's more of a balance.
I feel like it's more of like she was so childish, and like the Black Swan, she immediately went from like childish to like womanhood in a blink. I feel like that's the reason why I like started going crazy. It's
not like yeah, I'm a fuck boy Mila Kunis. She's not like, she doesn't go full Mila Kunis type beat, but she does. It is more yeah than Perfect Blue. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what you mean.
And I think that's interesting and unique a little bit. But yeah.
I feel like it was more like, well, they did a rape scene, let's do a kiss scene.
Right.
Let's not go too deep. Let's make it just a kiss.
Yeah. I feel you on that one.
But it doesn't take away. But yeah, the sudden like burst into like womanhood was like the reasons she's like going crazy, because instead of it being like a gradual process,
right? She's like forcing it.
Like growing up, she's forcing it, and that's when she starts bugging out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed because you're gonna have to like remind me of a lot of scenes because I saw it so long ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I like the growing up aspect of it.
Can I?
And how that has to play with her character.
There's a scene that I did want to ask you about in relation to the sex part. One of my favorite parts is when like she's dancing and then he's like seducing her like through the dance, like he just gets behind her and he starts making out with her, and then he puts his hand in between her legs, and then he's like, "That's what you need to do on the stage, bro." And I was like, because by that point you think that he's just being like a fuck boy and he's just fucking with them because he's trying to get pussy, but then when you realize that like he still is a fuckboy, but he does care about the ballet thing like just as much. I think that's
he's really trying to bring the best out of her.
Yeah. That doesn't make him a good person, but it makes him a very interesting character, and I fuck with that. It would be so boring if he was just, I want pussy. It's so much more interesting for him to be like what he is in the movie. I love, that's like my favorite part in the movie. I'm like, oh my god, you know?
Yeah, the actor, he did a good job.
Yeah, he was a great actor. I fucking loved him. I believed him. Like I was watching behind the scenes, like because I bought the Blu-ray, so I was watching it, and behind the scenes, like I didn't even see like a different person. Like he has like, that's his voice. Like he's British and stuff. So I love that part where like it's the point of view of her like doing spins, and he's like again, and yes, that's what he says. Fucking so cool. But yeah,
he was great.
He was amazing.
Cause he was the fuck boy, where he was genuine.
Yeah.
And he was like kind of, he was so like weird and like kind of like scary.
Yeah, I know.
He's kind of scary. You know that scene where like she's dancing and she's like, "Can you play that part again?" The piano guy's like, "Bro, I gotta go home. I'm fucking tired." And then like the lights turn off.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, can you turn the lights on? Hey, can you turn the lights on?" I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Dude.
I loved, Perfect Blue's motif is colors. It's blue and red, right? Like that's the thing in that. And in this, it's mirrors. And I think it's really cool. Like all the, this is a horror movie, but it's effective for me. It's a lot, all the creepy shit that happens when she like, whenever there's like subtle, like I'm turning into a swan type shit, I'm like, oh my God. When she's in her bedroom and her leg bends backwards, I'm like, oh Jesus. I literally like, while I was sitting there, said, fuck, what the fuck? I really like all the mirror scares though. And the stuff with the mirror is so fire. Like when Mila Kunis is like getting ready and she's like doing her makeup, it's like near the end of the movie, like right before she kills Mila Kunis. Like Mila Kunis is in the mirror and then she turns around and then it's her. Like it's Natalie Portman's character. That's some like, I feel like that's like Satoshi Kon level right there. Like in my opinion, I like that this movie, I didn't feel like I was watching a Satoshi Kon movie. Despite it being that vibe, the way it was executed, it felt like it did its own thing in that way. Like it kind of had its own approach. I like what they did with the mirrors and stuff. There was a ton of stuff like that. I love the rash. Like you don't think that you think that the rash is real, and then by the end of the movie, when you find out it isn't, it still has the same effect, even though it's not like actually happening, or maybe it is happening. I don't know. It's kind of like really open to interpretation, the entire thing. Yeah.
The major difference in this one is that she dies at the end. Right. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Even before that, backtracking, the scene where like she walks out into the flashing lights and it's just like the perfect blue scene. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Right before that,
when she starts like literally like transforming to the swan.
Yeah.
That shit looked dope.
Yeah, I loved that. That was fire as hell. And I love when by someone's body acting you believe like what they're doing. Like, the movie is it's talking about these really subtle like human emotions that are really hard to express. And I'm not into ballet. I'm not into shit like that, right? So I'm watching this movie kind of thinking that those parts are not going to impact me too much. And then when they're talking about lust and like what the black swan represents, and then she finally goes out there and does the whole dance, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I was fucking with it like the whole time, and I believed the performance. I believed that she was the black swan. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I also think it's really cool because I didn't know this while watching the movie, because I don't think they ever say this, but the story of Swan Lake, like the actual story that like they do ballerina of, in the story, they're not playing animals, they're not playing swans, they're playing like humanoid swans. Like that's like actually what they are. So in the actual narrative, they're like half human, half swan. And I think it's cooler that way because in the story, she's, half human, half swan, basically. And I think it's so cool. It's on some fucking Millennium Actress type beat where the story of Swan Lake is the story that is happening in the movie. Like of she kills her, the swan queen, the white swan girl kills herself because the black swan overtook her or whatever. And that happens like in real life, right? And I don't know, like all the stuff with like the dude, the black swan like winning over the boyfriend or whatever, right? In the Swan Lake story, and that happens in like the real thing. But I didn't have this interpretation when I watched it, but I don't know if we should talk about the ending now. Maybe we should. I don't know. I have something to say about the ending, but maybe I should save that for the end. The fucking girl from Stranger Things is in this movie as like the other person that was the Swan Queen, like before Natalie Portman, and all her shit was really interesting because it's basically saying like it's basically just like the fucking girl from Perfect Blue, where it's like I was the one before you, and I'm washed up. You're gonna be like me one day, kind of thing. And it's the movie is like an endless cycle where someone is gonna want to be the Swan Queen, someone is gonna like torture themselves emotionally and mentally to try and balance both of these characters, and then when they can't do the personalities the like dual personalities they have through this performance, and they're like back in the real world, they're just gonna go insane and they're gonna like lose themselves. And it happened to that girl, and it's gonna happen to Natalie Portman, and it's gonna happen to the next girl, because everybody wants to be perfect. And I know that she dies at the end, and that's what they made it seem like. But the director said, and I was very surprised to hear this, but the director said that she does not die at the end, and that all of the shit that is like supernatural in this movie, and technically that is right, like supernatural too, right? Because or like in her head or whatever you want to call it, because she stabs like Mila Kunis, and you think Mila Kunis is dead, and then that turns out not to be real, right? And figuratively, it makes sense why she stabs herself when it comes to like the theme of the story, but it also makes sense why that's not real, because nothing else in the movie is real, right? No one else like died, like none of the shit that you think happened. The girl who like stabbed herself, she probably didn't even stab herself. That was probably just Nina Wilden. And the director basically said like when she killed herself, it was just like figurative, and it was just him saying that she achieved like the perfection that she wanted to achieve, you know? Perfect Swan, perfect Blue, perfect Nina. She achieved the balance between the red and the blues, the fucking the black and the white. Yeah. And it's exactly, I don't know if you remember me saying this on the last episode with Perfect Blue, but I was saying on the last episode where like, you know, you were saying like, oh, she's in the red car and she's like, I'm okay. And I was saying like, maybe that means that she is okay. And maybe it's just saying like the red will always be there. And it's about having that balance, right? That's an interpretation that I had for Perfect Blue. But Black Swan, that's like much more clearly like the ending that it's going for. Like it's very much about the balance between the two, and how it's kind of impossible to keep that balance, and it will shatter eventually. But it's beautiful when you see it.
So like at the end, like what really happens then?
Well, there's times in the movie where people react to things that aren't really there, right? So I don't know if I want to like try and articulate this a lot, but you know how like Mila Kunis like had sex with her in her apartment, and that didn't even happen. Like we see a whole thing like that happen, and Mila Kunis gets stabbed, but turns out that didn't even happen either, right? So there's a lot of things in this movie where like it involves characters that you think are unaffected by this fuck shit, and then you realize that that even that can be fake. Like even that stuff has a ability of not being real. So I think like when she gets stabbed and she like falls to the ground in the final shot of the movie, and the guy's like, oh my God, get a medic. I don't think the get a medic part, I don't think that's like actually happening. I think that's part of the illusion. That's my assumption, you know?
I feel like it'd be better if she dies.
You think so? I think it's interesting if she survives, because then it feeds into like the commentary about this will continue to happen because everyone's going to seek being the Swan Queen, and everyone's going to seek perfection. Because if she died, then why shouldn't the other girl die? Like the Winona Ryder, you know? Like how did she the other Swan Queen, the one that was washed up, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean by the cycle.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more interesting if she dies, because like she tried to like reach perfection, and not like in the end was her demise kind of thing. Or like I don't know, or like her falling to her like schizophrenia and shit like that kind of like led to this death. I feel like figuratively, like when she stabs herself, I feel like if that actually like has an effect on her, I feel like that's just cooler.
Yeah.
Rather than just be like, it didn't happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because you see, I feel like, even though the director says she doesn't die, I don't see a way you can, like, I don't feel like you can see a way of how you, like, don't derive
that. Yeah, I know.
Naturally. You know what I mean? I feel like there's no, you know, like, a lot of fake things aren't happening.
Mm.
There's no real cue that makes you, like, she didn't die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they portrayed it for her to die. I feel like it's way more interesting that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. Like, I really like the ending.
Yeah.
I think the ending is one of the best parts. But now that you tell me that the director said nah,
I know.
It kind of makes it lame for me now.
Right. You can just see it the other way. I do agree you can't. Yeah.
Because like if that's not the way he intended it.
Mm-hmm. I do agree that it's hard for me to wrap my head around like the logic, because I would have never came to that conclusion myself.
Yeah. If you told me you did, I would have been like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Go ahead.
But while I think that it doesn't make a lot of sense, I am more on the fence that it's more interesting for her to be alive than to be dead. I like that more, and I wish that when I watch this movie I pulled that interpretation, and I hope that the next time I watch it I'm gonna see it that way, like knowing that ending. But I honestly don't know if I will.
I don't know how, like,
when I think about it logically,
I feel like the ending, I don't feel like the ending was portrayed to end like ambiguous, like how Perfect Blue did it,
right?
Because you can derive different endings of Perfect Blue, but in this one it's just like she stabs herself.
It feels like feel very, very one thing.
And it was like, and I feel like that has a deeper meaning to the story as a whole, like over this whole cycle thing. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
Because even her dying breaths was like, I was perfect.
And
like it was like her perfectionism like led her to killing herself. And I even think it's like even cooler that like her stabbing herself gave herself the wound. It was really like he fucking like you know what I mean? It was like when the scene was going on and she was like, and then like I saw the thing, I was like, oh shit, like that caught me. I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
And she died. I was like, get it in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was fire.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was watching the behind the scenes, the director was saying that he didn't talk about Perfect Blue, but he was talking about he read a book, and I've heard other people talk about this book before, like other movie makers. He talked about a book called The Double and how he was primarily inspired by the book called The Double for this movie. And I'm fairly certain he's talked about Perfect Blue. He's referenced Satoshi Kon and other things. So it's not that he doesn't know about it, but apparently this idea was born from like a book, like maybe even before Perfect Blue. So and there are other movies based on that book, not just Black Swan.
Right.
So I'm interested in watching those as well. But yeah, I don't really know because I watched this a long time ago too. So I don't really know if there's much else I have to say. I think that's more than enough for this convo. I still am very undecided on a lot of things about this movie, especially the ending. It kind of changes the whole thing. So I'm going to have to give it a lot more thought. But I put this amongst my possible 10s. Like, this is one of those movies where maybe on the second watch, like, it'll all fall into place and I'll be like, this is a fucking masterpiece. But for now, it's at least an 8. But I really don't feel comfortable like giving it like a set rating. If I have to give it a rating, I'll give it an 8. But it might be a 10 one day. I'm not sure.
With my ending, it was a 7. But with the director's ending, I'm giving it a 5.
Gotcha. All right. So, Memories of Murder. Fucking.
I forgot that I recommended this one. Good thing I recommended this one. This movie was a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fucking loved this movie. This movie was incredible. I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. It was fantastic. This movie's on the IMDb top 250. I didn't know that. It was great. I loved it. I had a great time.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. In this movie, you know, the detective that came from Seoul, I immediately connected him to Terror Resonance, that guy in that movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy, it was like, this is what like Terror Resonance should have been. Like the director like leading the charge instead of all the other bullshit. But like when he first pulled up, I was like, this is the Terror Resonance guy that I wanted to be the star.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But he came and did his thing. But this movie is really good.
This movie's insanely
good. It's funny. This movie is about like a murder mystery, right? A serial killer in a small town.
Right.
And it's crazy how how the director like puts in like comedic moments and it not deter from the seriousness of the movie. There's so many like funny moments, and it's not like, even though like the show's like very serious. That's right. Even though the movie's like serious, it's not like the stupid funny moments don't make you think this movie's goofy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even though what's happening on screen is goofy. And it's interesting seeing how the cops are just like behaving before the dude came.
Right.
And it's crazy how like the main character, how like different he was to the end.
Yeah.
To how he started, you know. But I feel like overall this movie is really good. This makes me want to watch his other movies as well.
Me too.
This and Parasite are both bangers.
Yeah. A lot of people speak highly of his other movies. A lot of people talk about The Host.
Yeah.
I when I was a kid, I saw that poster everywhere. I think it was on Netflix. Yeah. And like I was very aware of this movie from a very young age. And I'm like, maybe I should watch that movie. Like I think when Blockbuster existed, I remember seeing it like as like a DVD. So to realize that it's like a Bong Joon-ho movie and it's in Korean, and it like has it has the same like main dude from that's in all of his movies. That's so cool. And I've seen clips, and I'm so excited to watch that. But this movie was great. I loved the way it started, because I didn't know it was a murder mystery. I didn't know anything about the movie. I started it. Yeah. It's a bunch of kids playing around. You know, I did not take that opening lightly. When the kid sees like the cricket or whatever, or the grasshopper, I don't know what you call it. He sees the thing on the plant, and it like blends into the plant, and you kind of don't notice it until he grabs it. And that made me think of just like the entire idea that this movie centered around, where it's like, where is this killer amongst like everything else, you know? And it's funny because this kid grabs this thing that you as an audience like don't really notice, and these detectives are trying to grab this thing that you can't really tell like if it's a plant or if it's a bug, and one of them's trying to use intuition, the other is trying to use logic, and it's so cool.
That ties into the ending as well.
Yeah.
And he asked the girl, and she's like, the girl says like, he's ordinary. He looks ordinary. You know?
Manny, I lost my mind at that ending, bro. Like,
that's one of the best endings I ever seen.
Bro, that's one of the best endings of all time. He looks, bro.
For me, like,
bro.
Taxi Driver, Perfect Blue, and this one made me lose my mind. Yeah, it was crazy. This one was insane. And then when I like saw like the meaning behind it, I was like, That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things ever.
Bro, did you know about the fact that this movie was like based on a real thing before you watched it? I didn't know that either. This is one of those things where looking it up after changed the whole thing for me for the better. Yeah. I like Black Swan, but Black Swan has me confused. This one has me like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Whoa. Like, oh. And
bro, even oh my God, like, the final 10 minutes of this movie are like
fucking
fucking good. It's executed like perfectly.
Yeah.
It cannot be done better.
Manny, okay, we gotta talk about that final the train track scene when he's there and it's not him. He grabs him by the shirt, and the face that he makes, bro, like you don't know. You don't fucking know. It's just like he's
such a dickhead, bro. That dude.
Which one?
The dude that they caught in the handcuffs. Like he's such a dickhead. Because he was just like he was acting like such a he's like, I know it's you, and he just say some stupid shit. Like, he wasn't even like denying shit. Like he wasn't like,
bro.
Like,
honestly,
he wasn't saying it wasn't me. He was just like,
I kind of fucked with his personality because like when people who were like it's not me got tortured, and he's sitting there like, this is not gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna give them a reason to like beat me up or do anything. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know. I really liked that. Like I love when he's
I love that as well.
Yeah, because the reason why he acts that way is because he's mad that these cops, these like police that are supposed to govern like their society are like gonna lie about this, you know? Like I'd be acting that way too. Like, bro, really? You're really about to like try to convict me of something like that you don't know I did, you know? Like assuming he didn't do it, I'd be giving them fucking attitude too, because I'm just like, dude, why are you doing this? You don't have evidence. Don't do this. The dude is out there and you're giving me attitude. Like you're wasting time.
I don't know, on the train tracks, I don't feel like that's how you would act. If you do it by like, yo, I'm about to shoot you, and you just like, I'd be like, bro, I didn't do it, bro. But this dude, like, you know, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it fucked up the scene. It's like, the dude is such a dickhead. It's like, bro, tell me one reason why it's not you. He's just like, fuck this guy. I would have been so mad if I was the cop, right?
Really?
But
I would have been mad if I was him.
Because it makes him more mysterious. Because like, it could fucking be this guy.
Yeah.
And he's just not denying it. Or it could just be a random civilian, you know?
Right.
But that shit was done so well, though. When they got the envelope, I was so ready for it to be like, it was this guy.
Really? Yeah.
Because you know we didn't know that was real, and they didn't even catch the motherfucker.
Right. Even
when the movie was made, so I was like, yeah, they're about to catch him right now. It's like, we don't know.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It definitely makes you think like it might be him. Fucking.
Yeah.
My favorite part in the entire movie, honestly, even more than the ending, is when like the guy he's like walking on the train tracks and the guy shoots at him, and the main dude is like, no, and he pushes him away and he shoots, and the dude like falls over, and it stays on him for so long. The camera stays on him. You think he gets shot. He like slowly looks back. He gets up. He does not run. He just starts walking. That's why I love the fact that he's like calm the whole time, because that just shows it's like, y'all are trifling. I'm not about to get bent out of shape over your bullshit. Like, I'm just gonna go. And and they don't chase him because they know they're acting like crazy. They know they're both like being irrational about this. Like, even if you think it's him, even if you're frustrated that all this is happening, you don't have the evidence, and you can't like, you know, you don't know if it's the bug or if it's the plant. You can't make that gamble. He grabs him, and the camera's like looking at the main dude, and it's like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
But like the whole intuition thing. Like,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And I understand the temptation to do it that way. And I love the way they justify it in the beginning of the movie where it's like, it's Korea, bro. Like, it's a very small place. Like, when I do it this way, it works. Like, this is how you do it. There's not, people don't be doing crazy shit to where I actually have to investigate like that. And I like that. I like that logic. I understand where he's coming from, even if that's not the right way of doing things. But it's so cool how the movie like rides on that. And I love how the other guy falls into it where he's like, I know it's him. And it's like, bro, you don't know. And it's like, oh, so now you changed? Like, it's great.
They did a whole flip flop.
Yeah, the flippity flop.
Yeah.
I love it,
But
man.
there's so many good scenes, man. Like that drop kick scene.
There's a lot of dropkick scenes.
I know. Was that first one? Like out in the field?
Who does he do it to?
He does it. Doesn't he do it to the main detective when they first meet? I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I kind of forget. I thought that when the detective and the dude first met, it was the main detective, like the one from Parasite, and then the other one. And I thought they first met because he thought like he was looking at a girl. And then they got in the car and was like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. But I forget the first kick. The kick that resonates with me is the one with the
Interrogation thing?
Yeah, the interrogation. I was like, dude. He jumps on the like, oh, fuck you. It's so good.
Yeah, that third guy was crazy.
Yeah, he was a real nigga, bro. I like that third guy.
He was out of control.
He was.
He was out of control.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about this movie. It's so good. Did you watch the YouTube video I sent you on Memories of Murder?
No, I didn't.
Okay. It was a really good video. And it was talking about how, like, when it comes to the filmmaking, a lot of things will, like, show you what you need to focus on. So, like, if you need to focus on a character's face, the character's face is going to be the only thing in frame. Like, a lot of casual movies do that. But this is Bong Joon-ho. So it's a little bit more creative and try hard. So he talks about ensemble casting and how, like, there's 5 people on screen. Where are your eyes drawn to? And how does he stage this to where, like, you're looking at what you need to look at? And how is it, like, done interestingly enough? And he just talks about that, like, throughout, like, the entire movie. Like, do you remember that part where it shows the girl in the front and the camera's focused on the girl and the background's, like, blurred, but the background shows the killer, like, in the bushes, and then his head goes down. Like, that's so cool. Like, that's so great, you know? Like, you're focusing on the background even though, like, the main thing, like, how long did it take to get that shot? Like, while they're raining, the right lighting. One thing I will say, this movie is so visually consistent. Like, it's constantly foggy, and like the sky is this, like, the very specific color. It's never like a clear blue sky. It's always like a ton of clouds. It's always like on the brink of raining, and I love that. Like, the way it looks on the poster is, that's how it looks the whole movie. It's insane. I don't know how he manages it. Maybe there's a little bit of post-production magic, but yeah, that ending's fucking great. Do you remember that scarecrow or whatever? What do you remember what it said? Because I don't remember what it said.
I don't remember either.
Okay. I feel a little bad. If I'm being honest, I got a little confused with, like, some of the characters, because especially the female characters, like his wife, I kept confusing his wife with, like, other female characters. I'm like, oh, that's the wife character. But then it wasn't. I'm like, oh, shit. And then I looked it up. Apparently that's not his wife at all. Apparently that's, like, a prostitute that he, like, just goes to outside of work, which is very interesting. Because at the end of the movie,
I thought it was his wife.
You thought it was his wife? Yeah. I think it's cool that it's a prostitute. He goes back to his family. Full ass house. I don't know if, like, there was a time skip and, like, he got the bread, but I don't know. Yeah, dude. It's a fun mystery throughout. You know, it keeps you engaged. I was never bored watching this.
Yeah, I was not bored. Because it was really funny. There's a lot of funny scenes. Like like when they find the body and the dude was like, he was like, yo, he sounded like they're like, he's like telling the boss, he's like, yo, like, there's no hair on the scene. That means like they probably bald down there. I want me to go check the monks like next door.
Yeah.
This is the fucking dude. Like, and like the camera just stays there. He's like,
yeah.
The other guy's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the secondary main guy was just he's just like surrounded by idiots.
Yeah.
And it's like it's frustrating for him. But then like it's fire how he just like stoops down to their level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's just so frustrated. Yeah, it's really well done, start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because like this shit really happened,
right? And
I didn't even know when I watched the movie about like the ending when like the dude looks at the screen,
right?
I didn't know, like, even though like, when I saw it the first time, I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Like, but then when I like read about it, I even went even more crazy because like they were saying like the killer might still be out there just watching. It might just go to movies and watch it.
Yeah.
And it was, like, the final scene's like Korea looking at that guy and
right.
Wonder, like imagine just sitting next to the guy and like during that scene he's just like an ordinary guy, so you never know.
Yeah.
I think that's such a crazy ending. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's such like a wall break. It's such like it's such a subtle wall break, you know.
It is fucking crazy. And then it's really insane that right when Parasite is popping off, like before Parasite like really came out, or like around the same time, I think, that's when he got found. Did you see like what Bong Joon-ho like said, where he's like,
no,
I don't know how to feel about this, I need time. And that shit just like hit me so hard, like when he said that, because I don't know, like I feel like a normie when it comes to like my perception of this, like what does he think, the guy who made the movie, about that whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's important, the context that like this is Korea's like first real serial killer, which makes a lot more sense, because you might be thinking like, how are the police acting like this? Korea is a small place compared to like the rest of the world, and if this is the first time where anything happens like that, it makes sense why they wouldn't be like going hard like that. Yeah. And you know, this is a perfect movie where like it's not a 1-to-1 like this is based on everything that happened there and we're talking about the cops too. I'm actually a little confused on that, but I'll get into that later. I think it's cool that this movie does make up a lot of stuff, but it still is effective despite the things it makes up. It doesn't matter that like some of it isn't real, or you know, it doesn't matter that they actually sent the semen to Japan and not America. It's, you know, it works either way. But one thing that really confuses me is like, what is it saying about the cop? Because it feels like the movie is criticizing the cops and it's criticizing Korea, but it's also being empathetic of them. So it's interesting when you see it through that lens, because the entire movie feels kind of like a commentary on them. And then by the end of it, it doesn't feel like the movie really takes a stance on what it's been saying the whole time. And it makes me think, like, what is this movie trying to say by the end of it? Just the killer's out there and that's it? Or is it all the stuff about the cops being bad? Was it trying to say something with that? I don't know.
Maybe I feel like maybe if you were like grew up in Korea during that time, you can make a connection to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because
we don't know if like where cops really just shitty.
Right.
In Korea back in the day.
Yeah. And even if they are shitty, it feels like he was being nice. It didn't feel like it was a mean, like, fuck these characters kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused on the messaging there, and I'm confused on how to feel, because a part of me is like, if they were patient, they might have found it, because of the kid, the mentally challenged kid who like got hit by the train. Like he might have been able to give them the answer if he didn't get hit by the train, and they weren't like pushing this, you know. But I guess Bong is saying like they're so frustrated that they couldn't find the evidence. They're so frustrated that they couldn't find this guy that they were their own demise. But I guess he's saying it's understandable why they acted the way they acted, and it's coming at it from a more empathetic angle. He's probably not trying to criticize people. He's probably saying they did these things, but saying like why they did them. I just thought about that a lot. But fucking that part with the mentally challenged kid and the guy like fucking destroying the place. I was like, I love that part. So tense, where they're just like yelling at him like, do you know who this is? Is it this guy? Is this guy? And the kid's like getting closer and closer to the answer, and the cop, and then the dad comes, and the kid's like standing in front of the train, and then he gets hit. It's like, oh my god, fuck. It's when I finished this movie, I immediately like text like my main friends, and I was like, watch Memories of Murder. It's on Hulu. Like I told everybody like, bro, watch this movie, bro. And I hope at least some of them do, because I think everybody should watch this. I think this is a try hard movie that's fun. I think everybody will fuck with it. It's just like Parasite. Do you like this more than Parasite?
I don't know.
You don't know? I'm gonna give it the same rating as Parasite, but I think I can say. Actually, no. It's just the honeymoon phase. Maybe I should wait a little while, but it's pretty close. I think they're neck and neck for me.
Parasite is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Parasite has a good message as well.
Yeah.
The whole like upper class thing.
Mm-hmm.
The society in general, but
yeah.
Because they both have really good endings.
Yeah, they do. They're
both funny. I don't know. I'd probably say Parasite's a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're both really good. So
yeah. I don't know either, but this one was undeniably great. Where did you hear about it?
It's on TikTok.
Really? Okay. Interesting. When you recommended it, I was like, I haven't even heard of this movie. Like I never heard of this. I know Bong Joon-ho made other movies, but when you said a Bong Joon-ho movie, I'm like, this is such an interesting recommendation for Manny. I am so excited to watch this. I loved it. I don't really have much to say beyond the ending and like what we've said, but I loved it. I loved that I could see the foundations for Parasite in this movie. I love that like a lot of the aesthetic things that make Parasite what it is, like I don't know, just the way he uses the camera and shit, like the head coming up. Parasite does something very similar when like it shows the dude coming out of the basement, and like there's just a ton of great shit. I really love this movie. I don't even know if there's much else I got. I love it. I'm happy you recommended it. It was do you think this is the best thing you recommended? I'm so surprised by this. I loved it. The Ghibli movies don't count. Like none of the ones that we would watch regardless.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
I recommended Memento.
You did recommend Memento. Yeah.
I don't miss. movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the two best I recommend.
Yeah. That's great. Did you I need to find out what that scarecrow says because the poster is very important. Did you hear like when they caught the dude, he said that he saw the movie and he didn't like see it as what people said it was. Like he was like, "Oh, I was just watching it like a normal movie." But I did see it. It was very interesting that he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The movie's about you, bro.
I know. It makes me really sad, this movie. I don't know why. I'm getting emotional.
That kind of made me sad too.
Yeah. Because, I don't know. It's kind of like what we were talking about with the Texas Buffalo stuff. It's a lot of this movie is like centered around the main thing is like you don't know, you'll never know, blah 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 blah. But a lot of it is also just like how can someone do shit like this, you know?
Yeah.
I love movies like that because it's just like it's just like normal people like us trying to understand like why and just by the end of it just looking at the camera like I don't know. The movie is so scary like at the right points, you know. I love when like the girl at the end gets taken. It's like the scariest part when she just walks away. You never know when that can happen, like someone that you know when you walk by someone. Shit like that happens all the time. See someone yesterday, they die the next day. Like, I don't know. Have you ever experienced anything like this in real life? Like not even with people you know, but just like in Brockton, has anything, you know, like someone, I don't know if it happened or not, but like someone, it was like either attempted rape or like successful rape, like from a teacher at like Brockton High, like while we were there. Did you know about that? Huh?
Like someone raped a teacher?
No, a teacher raped a student.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a male teacher?
Yeah, it was a male teacher.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was really interesting. My history teacher told us in class, he was like, and she was like, so if you guys want to talk about it, like, what do you think? But she told us as if we already heard about it. And I was like, and I was the only one that talked in response. I was like, we don't know about this. Why are you telling me? This is third period. They should be saying that shit on the fucking speakers. And it's interesting because like when people fuck up like this, it's just like this movie. Like they try to hide it, you know? They try to pretend like it didn't happen or something, or like they try to cover it up like immediately. Despite knowing that it's wrong to do that because they know they can't really fix it. It's frustrating. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's ever anything that I've experienced in my life where like someone did something and I don't know who did the bad thing. But now that I think about that, there's probably something in my life that is like that, where like someone took something from me and I'll never know who took like a thing that I had, or someone, I don't know, like maybe someone like trips me in the hall like intentionally or something, and like I'll never know who it was, or like throws something at me. This movie's like that. I love movies that like tap into like things that you experience, like things that you think about like every day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those movies. It's sat with me ever since I watched it. It was a very great watch. I love the soundtrack, by the way. I was listening to the ending song like while driving and just being like, fuck. Like I loved it.
Yeah. It was incredible.
I don't know. I don't know what else I got, but this was a great movie, and I'm very happy that you recommended it. I feel like this is the turning point, Manny. We watched like the shittiest anime and like the best movie. This is where we make the switch. You can recommend anything whenever. Don't be afraid to recommend anime still. But I'm gonna start recommending movies. I'm gonna do it more. That's Memories of Murder. I'm gonna give it an 8. I don't think it'll be a 10, but I might move it up to a 9. I'll give it an 8 though. What do you give it?
I'll give it a 9.
Gotcha. All right. Do you have a recommendation for the next episode?
I don't.
So for next episode, we'll talk about Spy Family. So just make sure to finish that. If you do not have a movie, I do have 2 that I can recommend. Obviously, I want to give you the opportunity to recommend one if you have any. But the one that I want to recommend is called Force Majeure. That's going to be my recommendation. I think it's Swedish, which is why it's pronounced that way. But make sure to write that one down.
I'll probably pick I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I haven't seen that one.
Gotcha. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas and Force Majeure and Spy Family. Those are the 3 for next episode. right? All right. So there's a lot of anime news, Manny. There's a lot of shit, and I don't know if you said you didn't see any of them, but I'll go down the fucking long ass list of things. It's, oh my god, it's so long. First off, they announced that they're doing a second season of Star Wars Visions, and that might come out next year. So that's number one. Looking forward to that. And then Made in Abyss season 2 is going to be starting very soon. Extremely soon, like July 6th. I think they announced the date. I think that's when it's going to begin. And then there's Vinland Saga season 2. There was like a whole ass trailer that came out. Did you see that?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And that's done by Studio Mappa. It's getting the Attack on Titan treatment. Literally the same thing, because Wit Studio did season 1, and now Studio Mappa's taken over Vinland Saga. But I think, unlike Attack on Titan, I think it looks very similar to the Wit Studio one. It does kind of have that, like, I remember what you said about like Wit Studio, like kind of looking bubbly and like for Attack on Titan. I think it's better for Vinland Saga, even more so than Attack on Titan, to kind of have that like adult look, like grungy, whatever you want to call it, like dirty look that Attack on Titan has. But the characters, when you look at the trailer, like they look the same. You know, when you look at Attack on Titan, everyone kind of looks like a little off, low key. But when you look at Vinland Saga, everyone looks the same. Like the character, because they got a lot of the same people from Wit Studio. I read that in like one of the articles. So like the character designer's back. It's not like a whole new team. It's like, you know, it's like the same people, which is fire. And I've gone on record, not on a recorded podcast, but I've gone on record saying that I wasn't crazy about season 1, and I was not. But I am looking forward to where this story is going to go and season 2. Yeah. It seems interesting, especially based on what people have said about it, because I think a lot of people like where Vinland Saga goes, and because other people like it, I'm interested to see where it goes too. So there's that. And then you saw the Trigun thing, so I don't have to bring that up. There is going to be like a Junji Ito anime, like adapting a handful of his stories on Netflix, not Uzumaki, separate from that. Right. But I'm interested. I don't know when that's dropping. I don't know if it's next year or something, but I feel like Uzumaki, I'm so excited for that because like they're really treating this shit like it's like fucking Berserk. Like they're like, dude, we have to get this right. Like we cannot fuck this up. And that new Netflix one kind of sounds like, yep, we're just going to do it. And it's going to come out next year. It's like, okay, bro. I kind of like that Uzumaki kind of doesn't really have a release date. And I feel like that one is doing a better job at giving me more hype. But, you know, Junji Ito's got a handful of things dropping on Netflix. So that's something that I thought was just worthy of mention. And another, I think it's Netflix. I think this is a Netflix thing, but Studio Trigger is coming back with their fucking Cyberpunk anime. Did you see the trailer for that? Like the trailer came out. Were you aware that they were making a Cyberpunk anime?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So it's Cyberpunk like the game. Like they signed a contract or whatever to make a Cyberpunk TV show. And sadly, the game fucking sucks and no one likes it. So I feel like they're kind of, like left in the dust to create like this thing for this thing that people don't like. But it's Studio Trigger. So like it's still going to be good regardless of being attached to Cyberpunk. And the trailer looks awesome. So I want you to check that out. I would like you to watch the trailer now if you can. I don't even think it's like a minute long. Yeah.
Oh, we know it's gonna look amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The shots that they put in this trailer are crazy.
I know. The fucking moon. I'm just like, it's like Devil Man.
They went crazy. They got the best shots. They put the best shots in the trailer. The rest looks like trash.
Yeah. Let's hope it looks good when it drops. I don't know. Did it give a release date at the end of the trailer?
It's just September 2022.
Oh, holy shit. That's really soon. That's very soon. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about that. It's probably going to be a good 10 episode joint. So there's that. And then, well, Dragon Ball Super Superhero got a release date. I think it's like August 8th or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. And then the Trigun Stampede movie. So let's talk about that for a second. Fucking Studio Orange it's not a movie actually. It's like a remake basically. And it's being done by Studio Orange, the guys who did Beastars and Land of the Lustrous. So it's going to be 3D this time. Are you excited for that? Knowing that, I don't know if you knew that before. What do you think about that?
Hopefully they don't fuck up, man.
Yeah.
The
design of Vash is so complex. I'm interested how that's going to be translated into 3D, like his coat. That's literally like the only thing I'm thinking about. Like, how are you going to do his coat in like 3D? Yeah. But my opinion on this is that like the original is a masterpiece, but it is something that if you said we're going to remake it with like new animation, I would not be opposed because the animation in the original is lacking in many regards. And I would not be opposed to seeing a remake. And if it's bad, it does not invalidate the original for me. The original is still there.
It doesn't exist.
Huh?
It doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah. Just like Berserk. If it's bad, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Just like all the live action shows as well.
Right. And if it's good, I don't think it's going to override the original either. I think it's just going to be like a fun, oh, Vash is in 3D now, you know? I don't, there's a lot of things that you'd have to do like shot for shot, like word for word, bar for bar in order for me to like it as much as the original, but I don't think they're going to do that. And, you know, I talked about the English dub too. I don't think it's going to be the same. And the voice actor for Knives like passed away like this year. So
yeah,
I don't know. They fucking removed all the voice actors for the movie, so they're probably going to do it for the fucking show too. So it's not going to be better than the original, but I'll be excited to see Trigun like again in some way, shape, or form, you know? I just want to see more Trigun.
That opening is sick, bro.
Yeah, it's so good. When I saw that,
that's crazy.
Along with all the other news, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like Jesus, like is just like boom, boom, boom. He's doing it for us.
Dude, that's.
That's literally just one thing. You think that's crazy? All right, I'm gonna do all the heavy hitters right now. Fucking the next thing, Manny, the Mononoke trailer they're gonna make a Mononoke movie, and it's coming out in 2023, and the trailer dropped like today, I think.
Real?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it with you. Oh my god.
No subtitles.
That's okay. Damn, my nigga is dripped out. Oh my god. That looks so cool. He's got a new sword. Oh my god, that's so awesome. Dude, Manny, if this shit comes out in theaters, we have to see this together. Bro, I feel like it's not going to come out in theaters over here. I don't feel like people care about it that much, but fuck. I hope it does. Oh my god. I'm so happy I waited to watch that.
That's dope.
That's so dope. I can't believe.
I hope you find that black in the movie.
Oh, he definitely is. That's why they showed it, you know? They wanted to show off the new fit. And he has a new sword too. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's either like an upgrade or like a different sword just completely, but Yeah, bro. That's so interesting. Fucking that's that. It's so cool that like Mononoke is one of our shows. Don't you like that, Manny? When you can say like this is my show that no one else has seen and like this is like my special thing. I like that. I like that we have Mononoke. Like no one else has seen this show. Have you ever met anyone that's seen this show?
Of course not.
Of course not. I'm so excited. We're getting Trigun and fucking Mononoke.
Yeah, that's crazy because you know I love the Mononoke.
Man, just seeing those clips made me miss it. made me miss it so much. Speaking of really good things that are ours that really appeal to us, did you know that they're making another Castlevania show?
Man, Castlevania is so fire.
Yeah, I know, right? Castlevania Nocturne. No release date, but they're working on it. So it's not the son. I don't think it's the son of. It's one of the descendants of Trevor and Cypher. I don't think it's like the direct son of them, but the character like that you see in that trailer, his name is Richter Belmont, and he's like he's the Belmont that's in like the best Castlevania game. Like he's the guy you play as, and that's fucking crazy. Like that's so wild that they made it, that they're gonna make him like the Castlevania show that we watch, like Trevor and Cypher, that story is not adapted into like any of the games. That's like kind of an original story. I'm pretty sure. But Richter's like the most popular Belmont, at least from what I think. Like he's in Smash. Like he's like the guy. He's like, yeah. Like not as a trophy, not some fuck shit. Like he's like one of the main dudes. And he's in like one of the best Castlevania games. Not the best one. The best Castlevania game by most people's standards is the one where you play as Alucard. And that shit looks insane whenever I look at the gameplay. But yeah, Manny, we're getting Mononoke, Trigun, and Castlevania. Like, we eating out here tonight. Oh man.
Still a lot of other shit as well.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
Hold on.
I have more. I'm not done. So
yeah, you can keep on.
Okay. Did you hear about the Joker sequel? It's confirmed.
Confirmed?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I didn't actually do a lot of research on it, but I think someone uploaded like a picture, like someone on like Twitter or something. But you know what? Now that I said it, let me look it up.
Yeah, I see a lot of talk about it.
Yeah. Read the articles that you're on. I can't find the fucking tweet. I'm so mad. But you see people are saying that Lady Gaga is supposed to be in it. And she's supposed to be Harley. And what else do you see?
That's pretty much it. I just see the Lady Gaga thing.
Well, the official title of the movie is Joker, Folie et Deux, or I don't know. That's some French thing. I butchered the pronunciation, but and Folie et Deux. The definition of that is an identical or similar mental disorder affecting two or more individuals, usually the members of a close family. So just off the title, the implication is that it's going to focus on Joker and Harley. And the other thing that I don't know how to feel about, they said that it's going to be a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw that too.
Okay, I'm going to read this IGN article because I can trust IGN. Lady Gaga is allegedly in early talks to star as Harley Quinn alongside Joaquin Phoenix in a sequel to Joker that sources say very well may be a musical. As reported by THR, details on Lady Gaga's potential take on Harley Quinn are being kept under wraps, but it would be different than Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn as the characters would be in separate universes. THR has nothing else to say about the potential of the sequel to Joker being a musical, which would obviously be a big change as the first one was not. But THR's sources did share that Warner Brothers has yet to actually close a deal to bring Phoenix back to the role of Joker. Okay, so I guess it's not even confirmed. There was just a tweet. Oh, Phoenix appearing in director Todd Phillips' Instagram post revealing that the Joker sequel is in the works. So, okay, it was an Instagram post. Okay, I found the picture. I'm gonna send it on Discord.
As long as they get Joaquin back on it.
Yeah, Joaquin.
If they don't, there's like no point.
Yeah, he'll come back. I didn't really look into this, but the director of A Silent Voice is coming out with a new movie under Science Saru, like the studio Science Saru, the studio that does like Devilman and like Ping Pong and like those shows. So that's really interesting. I don't even remember the name, but there's that. And I think the new Makoto Shinkai trailer came out. I didn't watch it. I don't really want to watch it. I kind of don't want to get spoiled. I feel like that's what the trailer's going to do. So I'm not going to watch that. But that's it. That's it. Isn't that fucking crazy? All that stuff.
Yeah, that is a crazy lineup for real.
Yeah. That's the most that we've ever like talked about in terms of like news. But yeah, Manny, what a fucking episode. So many things, so much stuff to talk about. Very, very good. So, did you write down the stuff? Force Majeure.
Yeah.
Force Majeure, Spy Family, and
I want to eat your pancreas.
I want to eat your pancreas. Huh? But yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's all we got. All right, Manny.
I think I need to make a list for movies. I'm trying to forget a lot of movies I watch.
Yay! I'm so excited. I'm really excited to see that list. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Shrek 1, Shrek 2.
Man, yeah. I'm next episode. Come up with a recommendation. I mean, you can recommend like anime whenever you want if you want to do that, but get.
Nah, I already got a recommendation.
Okay, you want to do Pancreas first and then the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Pancreas, and then next episode after this will be Akira, and then like one other thing, and then yeah. So we're doing good, Manny. Everything's going good.
Yeah.
Thank you
Catch
as
you
always.
in the next episode
of the show that I don't know. What do we call this? Allie and Manny talk about anime and movies sometimes. Bum 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 bum. I've always thought about whether we should have like an intro, but we just don't. We literally hop on and we're like, hey, like every time. So many people have like a designated intro, but I don't know. It's just not our style. It's got to feel like FaceTime. We got to hop on. It's got to feel like when we click the button. If I had an intro, it's just a Discord call. Sometimes I start by like the ringtone of me calling you in Discord, like, and you'd be like, hello, and we like can't hear each other for like a minute. That's how I'd be starting the episode, because I think people like that. I don't think people. I like when people. I don't know. I like doing this because it's like. Have you ever like talked to a friend and been like, yo, we should just record this because our conversations are so good? That's basically what this is. And it's just like all those natural things that you do on FaceTime. Nobody has those.
Yeah.
So.
I don't. Yeah, and you're like the only guy I do this with.
Yeah.
Everyone else there is casual.
Yeah. Have you talked to Luis Carrera recently? No? I miss him. He's hitting Latino man.
I wish I was him.
Yeah, me too. Getting all that Japanese puh. I wonder if he is. I don't know. Can he walk around? Can he like just go anywhere? Whenever?
Yeah.
That's insane, man. It's like, oh my gosh.
Dude. There's like infinite things to do.
Yeah. Bro, it's so cool that he's there because like, like you're not allowed to like go to Japan right now. Like Japan's not letting in like tourists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because of COVID, I think. Like they don't want nothing happening, which is interesting. But yeah.
I bet a bunch of them are happy.
that they don't have to deal with us fucking Americans. Can't speak Japanese.
Yeah, I bet like a lot of I bet a lot of people are happy, but I know they flourish off fucking
tourism. Yeah, man.
Like who doesn't want to go to Japan,
bro? I always want to go to Japan. If I go to Japan, it's gonna cost a pretty fucking penny.
I know.
But it'll be worth it. They still have arcades in Japan, Manny. It's like these niggas are on a different type of wave. There are arcade games that are not console games. Like full-on arcade games that you can play in an arcade that are not available on console. You know Tekken was an arcade game for like a year before it came to PS4?
Mm-hmm.
That's so wild.
Does Tekken have the story mode?
Yes. It got the story mode when it came to here, but it was bad. Yeah. Tekken and Street Fighter, maybe less Tekken. I shouldn't say this about Tekken, but Street Fighter story like does not matter at all. I think that's why a lot of people don't fuck with it. I think people love Mortal Kombat because people love the story. I bought that game. I only played the story. I did not play the rest.
The story's confusing though.
Oh yeah.
They've retconned like everything.
I want to stay on the phone, but I have to take a shit. We're in the middle of a conversation, but maybe we should just end it here.
That's cool.
All right, bro. I'll see you later.
Bro. See ya.
Deuces.